Yeah, it's crazy. I said, I don't know what's happening with that. Hold on. That is crazy. But I just made it back. Hold on. 1 second. Yeah, I just made it back. Hold on, bro. No, well, two of them, that's it. Like, I'm sending one of the nobles that I deal with. I don't know if it's gonna fit. That's why I'm trying to wait for the other vendor. Cause if you wear like a 3, 4, that eight ain't gonna be big enough. I know that for sure. Cause one of my partners got a nice sized cranium here in Flint, and the eight sit on top of his head like, yeah. So this be. I'm glad your patience, man. I'm checking with my other vendor, so just give me a minute, bro. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Good. We good. Oh man, peace, peace, peace. It's a chilly day in the city of Flint, man. Chilly day in the city of Flint. Let me get my treadmill started. Get a couple of these miles in. Talk about the current events. We're gonna talk about It Takes a Village. But I want to give gratitude to all my nobles, everyone. You know I'm not in my city of Arizona right now. I'm back in my home state of Flint, Michigan. So a lot of people that I'm getting items to, you got to be patient with me, you know, because I'm a one-man show, you know, with my empress that helps, but she's a nurse. She's a traveling nurse. So I'm getting a lot of my stuff from my storage from Arizona sent here. So it's taking a little minute. But when they get here, the floodgates will be open. And so if anybody order like tunics from me, if you hit me up and say, hey Sheik, I like that tunic that you got on, or I would like a tunic, blah, blah, blah. If you connect it to me, I'll be able to just ship it straight from my location to you. I also have vendors that make my fezes, so a lot of people that get fezes from me that purchase them, it goes direct from where they make them at and it goes directly to them. That's why I tell brothers, always get your head size, the type of fitted hat you wear. And that's how you'll know what type of fez you wear. But regardless of that, I want to talk about everything, you know, the makeup of man and how we're supposed to love each other. And I told brothers and sisters, I use everything for power. I don't use things to be nice. I use things for power and organization. It's a structure with me. And so when I ask brothers and sisters, do y'all know what Daniel, in the biblical scriptures, in Daniel chapter 1, verse 8 through 11, I'll give you a minute to somebody tell me or just give me a little synopsis of what that was about. If you know, right off back. If you know right off back, then say yeah. If you just got to look it up real fast for a hot tittle and get something in your brain, do that. Because you got your smartphone, be smart with it. Right? You got your smartphone, be smart with it, right? So, in that particular text, it's saying something, right? In that particular text, it's saying something. I always ask people, follow me on my social media platforms. Follow me on Facebook, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Instagram and YouTube, subscribe. And then this won't be something you would just hear on the weekend. This will be something that we do every day. I tell people my science and other people's science is totally different because this is my life. This is not something that I do on the weekends. This is not, and with my science, it's no form of hate. It's no form of subjugation because I know who I am. I know who I am, and our brothers don't know. Our brothers don't know these Masonic keys. Our brothers don't know. Our brothers don't know that every European is a son of a Muslim, especially if they Mason. And 10 out of 10, that's dignitaries, and anyone that holds a little power are Masons. And they all sons of Muslims. So nobody don't get on here and with the disrespect and say, oh, well, this and that. And no, it's our science. And the other man is not the joke of masonry. It's our melanated brothers that'll go around and play some game and don't know half of what the European Mason know because they sons of Muslims. And our empresses, that's Eastern Stars, they don't know half of what the other women know because our empresses are under the DAR. And that's where the marriage license comes from. That's where all that third party come in. That's where all that litigation come in. Because our people won't tell you because they took an oath not to tell you the truth. And the lower science is so-called Christianity. When they get to the higher science, they become practicing Muslims. And the password is Assalamu Alaikum. And these is facts. And if you don't want to believe me, go on my page and research the European Mason. Or you can go on YouTube and just Google the Scottish Rite Mason giving homage to Noble Drew Ali on his 135th birthday. And then one of my, is my brother Bay on here? Let me see if my brother A. Bay on here. Because this is how I know, yep, brother Bay on here, this is how I know brothers don't follow the right people. People follow people that's talking outside of their neck knowing they ain't even watched the video because the Scottish Rite Mason is giving credit to Noble Drew Ali. And then some court jester, you know, that's what I call them. These brothers that just be arguing on social media, acting like this brother is disrespecting Noble Drew Ali. My European colleague, or Albion Charlie, like whatever you want to say, he's not disrespecting Noble Drew Ali. He's giving homage. What he's telling y'all is like, if your ears is open, how y'all act like y'all don't know who the prophet is? How you Nation of Islam don't act like you know who the prophet is? And I got the paperwork from the 30s and the 60s saying that they know exactly what I'm talking about. Everybody will sit on their hands. And when you talk about Islam and Christianity, it's made up from the Catholic Church and all this stuff, and it come from Jewish texts. These is facts. These is facts, man. So when we do this work, I say, man, I don't know what's wrong with a lot of melanated brothers because the other man don't have no power over me and you. It's our own people. Our own people destroyed Patrice Lumumba. People just be talking. I say, no. I say, listen, man. The only people that really did something to you is the people that look like you. They the only ones that have the power, and they've been lying to us from day one. They all took an oath. And I love brothers and sisters, but if this stuff was so good, why you take an oath not to tell the people the truth? And why kids today out here playing? Why? And people, they don't teach the gospels, and the other man use this for power, and everybody else, melanated, talk about when they die, they're going to go to heaven. Man, come on. The scripture says you want the same thing on earth as it is in heaven. So when I talk about Daniel, chapter 1, verse 8 through 11, do y'all know what that's about? Because we're under a certain dietary laws. Y'all know what Daniel 1 verses 8 and 11 is all about, right? Just take a minute and see that. Take a minute and see that. When I say all is going to connect. Here it is, my dad is an elder, my mom is an elder, and I'm their teacher, and I am my family teacher, and they don't support. And I told everybody, as soon as I come back to Flint, I knew the other man was going to try to support me just like they did Marcus Garvey, just like they did everybody else. Why? Because those are brothers that had position. And I'm alumni from universities. I keep telling y'all, it's a whole different science that I deal with. It's a whole different group of people that I deal with. It's a whole other rules that I'm able to play by. Why? Because I'm telling y'all the truth. I'm bringing it back, and they can't stop it. Why? Because they sons of Muslims. Everything that I talk about is going to be 20 years before it happened. Why? Because I have the playbook. Everyone know what I'm saying. So when I talk about what people took an oath not to tell you the truth and to keep you subjugated and keep you scattered, and I say, oh, this is a plot. It was always the death of the misnomer, BLACK Messiah. Religion and false doctrine was always used to do this to us. I use things for power. Daniel chapter 1, verse 8 through 11. Everybody talk about they go to church. Your Bible not going to talk this. A Freemason not going to talk it. They'll sit up here and play that game. It's a brotherhood, but what y'all talking about? Tell me about these keys. Tell me about Jabal, Jablum, and Jablum, and who had a jubilee. Tell me about this. Tell me that the Eastern Stars are under the European women just like the brothers are. And they took an oath not to tell the truth. Tell the truth. Because if it come from us, you will be breaking down all the wisdom, signs and symbols of the primordial man. Y'all know who wrote that, right? The European is going to always superimpose the science like, no, we're trying to be like you. But your people ain't going to tell you that this is your culture. Just like when you see those brothers in the Church of God in Christ, with all due respect, and you think they dress like the Catholic priest. But the Catholic priest with the comb, with the hats and everything, they dress like Egyptian pharaohs. Or they dress like the brothers in Seville, Spain. The Klan copied everything. All you got to do is research J.A. Rogers. The stuff is here. It's historical. And I tell people, the copied you, and we don't even know. We run around here playing each other. We run around here arguing. Brothers talk about they know some science, or we the M-O-O-R, not the M, all else semantics. And I just broke it down, all the different ways more spelt and the different language that it comes down. I broke this down in class, and we still fall on this crazy stuff. Now, if I gave you Daniel 1, verse 8 through 11, that's why I say I can't listen to no one that's not in good shape, not preaching no good gospel, because your health and wealth is synonymous in the biblical scriptures. We under certain dietary laws. We under a kasher diet, aka kosher. We under a kasher diet. We're from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David by blood. If you want to research and think about this, I'll show y'all a clip why you think the other man, listen, why y'all think the European man and the misnomer church man, why you think they love Moses so much when they say beginning at Moses? Because I can show you historically what they know what this is about, man. When I could tell you about Melchizedek, but your own preachers and brothers don't want to tell you about Melchizedek, and Jesus, Yahshua, was under the order of Melchizedek. Tell me, I'm like, we don't know what Melchizedek is. Who don't know who Melchizedek is? Who telling you that? Your teacher? Who telling you that? Who telling you that? How? How can you say that? Because you don't have the pieces of the puzzle. You don't have no pieces to the puzzle. So how do you have the whole complete story per se, and you don't have the pieces of the puzzle, and someone tell you it's not canon? But then the Bible asks you, didn't you read this in the book of Yasher? In academia, that's a prerequisite, meaning you should have read this before you even having a conversation with Sheik. Then the Bible speaks of 100 books, 23 specifically. So what are we talking about? In the Bible, Enoch and another figure go to heaven without dying. How we know about Enoch and then we don't know the book of Enoch because they're going to reveal so much stuff? Come on, man, stop the cap. So, once again, Daniel chapter 1 through 8 to 11, what is that talking about? The dietary laws. How Daniel said, hey, he ain't going to defile himself eating this meat or wine. You know, he going to maintain to his purity, to his what? His religious laws, his dietary laws. The way we eat, the way we think. We call it the Moorish. We have a certain way that we do things. And here it is, the analogy, the parable, the symbology of Daniel. Daniel said, I don't care if it's the king or what. I ain't eating the meat or the wine, and I'm going to maintain my religious purity. That's what he says. And then in 8 and 9, Daniel asked the chief official for permission to eat a different diet. And God caused the official to show Daniel favor. Just like if anything happened, you don't say, well, I'm going to do what the Romans do. You ask with love, hey, man, do y'all have this in replace of this? Why? Because right now, this is what I have to be on. I'm not saying we don't do other things, but it's a certain way we live our life. And everything else is a treat. Real talk. And even the officials expressed fear that Daniel will look worse than the other youth. The king will execute him. That's what he thought, right? Daniel approaches the steward of Melzar, assigned to him, Hannah, Massa, and Azariah, to request a test of their diet. And what? He was granted that. He was granted that. And this is what I tell people. I say a lot of stuff is meaningless to me. What brothers be talking about? If you're not operating in a higher science of understanding, all that broke stuff, all that undisciplined stuff means nothing to me. And that's why certain groups were able to come together, because they were undisciplined. They were undisciplined. That's why I like certain groups, because you could take a person that's not disciplined and make them disciplined. It had to be some form of discipline of what we're doing. Everything just can't be party and BS all through the week. So all through the week is that you living the same life as a street person. But then you say you go to mass and prayer. You ain't working out. You ain't fasting through the week if you're going to enjoy adult beverages on the weekend. It's nothing about the lifestyle building up. And this is why a lot of what's happening in our city of Flint, the youth and all over, it's not just one, it's a disconnection. It's a disconnection across the board. It's a disconnection with all the empresses. Let me tell y'all why. Because I see empresses on TikTok dancing with their daughters. That's why. And then, well, we just having fun. Exactly. I don't see you on TikTok teaching no science. I don't see you on TikTok going through your Moore's Quran. I don't see you on TikTok with the women's auxiliary book. What book you talking about, Sheik? The women's auxiliary book to show the young Moorish girls how to be young empresses. All I see is playing. It's more than just wearing a fez and a turban. You're supposed to have a map and a guide that's going to deliver the lessons in the flesh. If not, what's the purpose? TikTok playing. TikTok playing. I'm telling you, you got 1 foot in and 1 foot out. 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Why? Because I'm looking at your life just like you looking at mine. Because I'm on your page just like you on my page. That's why. And tell me I'm lying. And then when brothers be on my page, I go on their page, I said, dude, oh, you a court gesture. Why? Because I see the life you smiling, geeking all the day. Talk about you getting ready to go study. You're not getting ready to go study. You're getting ready to go play. Why? Because that's all on your social media is you playing. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Tell me any different. You tell me any different. I go on these Empress's pages where you playing. You playing working out. You playing being an Empress. Why? Because what are you teaching the kids? We letting the school systems teach our babies. And I say, do you have more school? Here are the chic people have been following for years, and I have private lessons. When I be hearing people, well, we need more after school activities. Oh, so you need more government mandated lessons, or how can I say, showing them how to be a robot than their own brother that's anointed and consecrated. So we need the government to keep giving our kids things that's not needed, keep telling them this, that, and the other to all these federal mandated positions. That's what we need. That's crazy. Because most of our children, I guarantee you, if anybody got kids on here, your kid don't go to private school. You go to public school. So if your kid go to public school, what's being learned? And if you say you homeschooling, what are you learning? What you teaching your kid at home? I always be asking people this. I don't be saying you not doing this, but when people say, well, you don't know what I'll be doing, I say, yes, I do. You post everything on social media. I know what your underwear look like. I know what your lingerie look like. I know what your body look like. Why? Because you show it. So you ain't showing me nothing. You ain't showing me nothing that's constructive. Well, you don't know what I'll be doing. Show me. Because I see what you're doing on social media with your kids and doing dancing, smiling, and then you dancing, smiling. It ain't nothing serious. That's why I be telling you. And it's in the same way with the men too. It's the same way with the men too. And I don't be telling nobody. I'll be saying the people that say they into this, what's your body of work? Because I'm 49. I done a whole bunch of stuff. I done been to prisons. I done lectured at all high schools, elementaries. When I'm in Arizona, I work for the Youth Development Institution, a lockup. I'm licensed in behavioral health therapy, ADHD. I volunteer a lot of my time. A lot of my time I was part of the West Valley Health Summit, where I help battered women find shelter and find homes. Like, what are we talking about, man? And so when more say, well, we the first this, we the first that, I can't tell. Because here it is, I have a library with over 1 million books and documents, and we're not gonna worry about nobody. Yeah, we'll move them. It's all good. Now, we don't even respond to goof stuff. We won't do that. It's way deeper than that. Yeah, what my homie say, get that clown off your page, Sheik. Hey, we're not gonna give negative people energy. That shows their aptitude when they get on social media. That's them. That's them. We're not gonna give nobody energy. We just block them, and thank you for my moderator for blocking them. But don't give none of that stuff energy. It's a waste. A lot of them maybe be kids, or that shows the aptitude of an adult that they take their time and waste their precious time of the day to get on here and waste their time. That shows their aptitude. So let's proceed. This is what this is all about, man. This is what it's about with our youth and our kids. It ain't about nothing else. It ain't about nothing else. It's what? Showing the picture and what are we doing? What are we doing in our community? What are we doing with our children? And a lot of times when stuff happen, like when lives be took senselessly, a lot of people don't care because it hasn't hit home. I tell people this all day. We have to deal with our kids in the 4th grade. If we don't catch them at that young age, a lot of time when they get 15, it's a wrap. Because no parent know what's going on. They're not checking them. They don't know their friends. These kids walking around with poles. I'm seeing them. And the only reason why I'm able to talk to them when I come in my city of Flint, because they know me. And I don't talk to them or down. I talk to them from love and be like, listen, man, you better than this. Not like you supposed to be. And y'all, I say, no, bro, y'all way better than this. I say, look at this brother, look at this brother. And I use ancient times. I say, if we was in an area of royalty, we'd all be bartering with each other. We'll be trying to connect our brothers be trying to talk to their sisters and vice versa. We're trying to build a family. And the analogies that need to be showed to our youth, and the compassion and the love, I always say it's a disconnect. And the disconnect is with the adults and with the spiritual men, because the youth see us arguing. They see the so-called Hebrew Israelite on the corner arguing in their own neighborhood. They see the so-called Moorish, what they're doing is all act like they got some secret paperwork that they get ready to get some money. They got that. Then you got the other conscious community brothers arguing. Then you got these people that say, that look like us, pay for your leisure and all this stuff, and they in the real estate, all scams. The black one, all this stuff been scams. So when you start looking at brothers that's supposed to be really doing something and standing strong, you say, this stuff is all premeditated scams. Until you deal with the right one, and then when you get the right one, our own people don't believe it. And then the right one have to leave his own country and home like I did and go to a red state and be known for what I'm known for. I tell people this all day. I thought I was going to be able to come back to Flint, Michigan and show my people science and say, you're not responsible for what you've done, of the lack of knowledge. Let me show you this. Let me show you that. I thought that. But I was able to show this to the other man because they study us to a T. This is all I'm telling people. I said, they ain't no disrespect. I said, they study us to a T. They have libraries. All the doctoral libraries is filled with our information. All the Nabatean library, the stuff, when I talk about the museum, all this stuff, all these colleges, Oxford, Harvard, Cambridge, they have everything that I have in their Gnostic libraries. Anybody on here that's a scholar, they know I'm telling 100% truth. Anybody down here a scholar, they know I'm telling 100% truth. And the reason why you don't know it's the truth, because you're not a scholar. From Godfrey Higgins to all European scholars in first century, they showed the same thing. I promise you. And we lost due to a lack of knowledge. From Bertram Thomas to Albert Churchward, for David McRitchie, Gerald Massey. I ain't even went deep when I say our people are lost due to a lack of knowledge because we refuse to learn. Our own people are the only ones that's going to fool us. It ain't a European, an Albion, a Trailer got on this social media and y'all following and they took you to no burning house. So don't sit up here and lie. The only people that took you to a burning house is one of these so-called influencers. Or one of these people said, hey, you can get this, you can file this, and your social security attached to this. And I've been telling y'all, research Roger Elving. Research, they ain't even smart as Bernie Madoff. Research pyramid scheme, Ponzi scheme. This is an old Jedi mind trick. I told y'all years ago, I said, these people not making money off no real estate like this. And now what happened? The husband and wife, they go put on they tunics like they Muslims and start talking that Islam stuff. We selling Halil stiff when you get in trouble. Only time you people want to be religious is when they get in trouble. I told y'all, this is a joke. And y'all know it. The same way with the brothers that was in real estate, the J dude, the JM. What happened? All that atrocities, then the criminal preachers, they link up with them and they go in the churches and do the same thing. PowerPoint presentation about some real estate. About how I went to prison. Nobody care about that. The only thing I want to hear from a Negro, excuse my candor, that went to prison is how not to go back. I don't want to hear the rest of those scams. I got understanding what I'm saying. This is love, man. This is no disrespect. This is love. And all European scholars know this. We can go. It's just like John Henry Clark said. All I debate is my equals. All others I teach. I bet you can't find nothing that I'm saying that's not scholarship. But you can. You might not like me. You might not like my delivery. You might not like my candor. I don't care about that. But I can show you Alan Blavatsky, to Pascal Beverly Randolph, to Aleister Crowley. I can show you all that's reverse Moorish science. Guaranteed. I can show you the Baphomet is written Kabbalistically. Temp, Hob, Abs, Abba. I can show you that all this stuff, Gnostically speaking, that our people are lost due to a lack of knowledge. And it ain't the other man. It's our own brothers and sisters that took an oath. And a lot of them are preachers. And they under the FBI. That's the faith-based initiative. That's the acronym for faith-based initiative. What they got to teach government-mandated religious and Eurocentric and Negrocentric propaganda. That's why ain't nothing changed in our communities. Come on, think about it. It's just as many churches as right now churches and dispensaries in the city of Flint. Where they at? It ain't no outrage. It ain't no outrage because they tax exempt. They don't want to speak on nothing like that. Why? Because this big business. Y'all don't understand what I understand. This big business, just like the prison, the pipeline, is big business. They taxes in for the federal government, man. Why you think all the churches ain't out, all these churches in the city of Flint? What they gonna do, they gonna have some on TV because a lot of them are in Greek fraternities, and then they gonna have a concerned pastors that been doing this forever. Nothing. With all due respect. I'm telling y'all, it's big business. Think about it. We the people. Without us, it's nothing. We the people, we got to come together. We got to unite. We got to say, okay, well, no, we standing behind and on this side and in front of this right here. This is what we rocking with. Why? Because I'm telling y'all, religion ain't gonna get it. We don't have religion forever. They got the scriptures made for the slave. They got the Negro scriptures for the slave. Don't y'all know that? They got the black Christian codes. Don't y'all know this? They colonized people a certain way. Before the Bible, what do you think we had? Before somebody came with some colonized book. With all due respect. With all due respect, I'm telling you. And then our people is dressed like Egyptian pharaohs and don't even know it. And then they copying the other man. And the other man dressed like you. The Pope, what's his name? The Pope, they all dress like like Egyptian pharaohs. And then here are our brothers, they talk about what they call themselves in the church of some bishop. No, you dress like an Egyptian pharaoh, sir. What, like, you don't know that? You ain't dressed, you dress like an Egyptian pharaoh. You don't know that. You see what I'm saying? So it's on us to say, no, we are people. It's on the elders to come back in the neighborhood. It's for us. Everybody done moved out the neighborhood and they gentrifying it. They gentrifying our city of Flint right now. They gentrifying it. Everything is a plan. And most stuff is a 50 to 100 year plan. The jig is up. Y'all don't understand the city of Flint is indigenous. When y'all look at all the streets by Longfellow, they named after indigenous tribes. Iroquois, Stockdale. What's the other one? It's a whole bunch. Mason. They don't know it. I be like, dude, don't y'all know what's underground? From the goddamn old county jail to the certain place where you locked up, don't you walk from underground to your court? Same way as Central, same way all this stuff. I keep telling people, we done lost it. The city of Flint is indigenous. The trees is rich. The soil is rich. You don't even know this. Why? Because the man that's supposed to be teaching you this ain't telling you this. And they gentrifying our neighborhood. Land bank just stopped tearing houses down. They finna, they finna wipe brothers out. They gonna move them to high rises in a certain area. I'm telling you what I know. And people don't understand we tax exempt. It's a blueprint that's going on. It's a unity. We're supposed to be putting our pennies together. We shouldn't be losing nothing. This is what I'm telling people. I say, boo, yeah, Seneca, absolutely. It's indigenous land. It's indigenous. This whole area is indigenous. Don't y'all know this? Arizona is indigenous. We native to the land. Just like a wine connoisseur will say, oh, what's the appellation of the grapes? What's the appellations of you? Think about what I'm saying, brothers and sisters, for a tittle. Think about what I'm saying. I promise you, everybody agree. Because if you don't tell me what's the Democrat agenda, what's the, how can I say, Republican agenda, which whatever, if that's how you vote, you're supposed to be doing law and policy. You're supposed to be doing law and policy. You shouldn't be voting on who you like. It shouldn't be a whole bunch of repeated, oh, remember this dude was the city council, but now he's voting again. Why? Running again. Why? If you wasn't no good in office, what have you learned since you've been preparing yourself? Did you go get some education? Did you learn budget? Did you learn finance? None of these skills. So everybody that's running these positions, it's a job. It's a job that they can get about 20, 30,000 a year and get up there and argue what's been happening in the city of Flint, a SHIT show. You can't tell me no different. It's a SHIT show. Them Negroes can't get along with nothing. The city councilmen can't get along with each other. The mayor can't get along with nothing. And then if they say they love Eric Mays so great, this is what I'll be laughing at Negroes, because I know they don't vote. If they love Eric Mays so much, why he wasn't the mayor? Why Eric May didn't become the mayor? Because our people love a SHIT show, AKA a reality show. They like to argue. And when you do the numbers and when you audit everything, you'll be like, man, y'all clowns didn't vote. Just like they did in the city of Dalton with that lady Tiffany Henner. I'm telling you what I know. Nobody can tell me different. Why? I'm educated in what I'm in. Man, I audit everything, which I already did and said, man, it's this many people live in the city of Flint, and y'all ain't vote. Well, you know, we don't deal with politics. Well, what you talking about then? Well, you don't have no say-so on who in office, on who the police chief, on who the judges, nothing. You have no fight on nothing. You might as well go sit down somewhere. You see? And this is what it's about. Why? Because we, the people, We don't know what's going on in our communities. Everybody live around raggedy stuff, and they let the land bank just suck the money out trying to sell that raggedy stuff that's been paid for 100 times over. The people in the neighborhoods where the land bank owe them raggedy houses, you have to make a note and say, we want these houses. Ain't nobody coming in, no investors to buy these houses like that in our neighborhoods, and now y'all taking the neighborhood from neighborhoods. These people coming in, they ain't buying nothing. That like downtown in the city, they build all them like little apartment houses. Man, you ain't gonna never own those. I ain't seen nobody move in them yet. You and who want to move in some houses downtown like that, the same way they did on Saginaw Street. I'm telling you what I know. But listen, man, and all of them are cheaply made. You can huff and puff and blow that crap down. That's why a lot of the stuff in the neighborhoods, the structures are good. We tore it up. I'm telling you what I know, man. Watch what happened. I got blueprints for this stuff. They have blueprints for the city of Flint. And they starting downtown. They starting by Kettering. Why you think all those houses, they're fraternity homes? Who you think own all that area, all that stuff down there, and by the golf course, all there by Kettering? Man, they buying all that stuff up. How? Donors. A lot of these schools are tax exempt for the federal government, so they have donors. These rich people, they don't do enough with their money so they can support what they're doing. What y'all think Trump and all these politicians do? They have nonprofit organizations and they donate their money to that and make their organizations rich. They don't give nothing to Uncle Sam. The same way I've been trying to tell you why, because it's the law. You're either going to give it to Uncle Sam or you're going to give it to your religious and charitable contribution of your choice, or you're going to sit on your hands and be quiet. You see how simple this stuff is? We either going to police our own community, our religious community, or we ain't going to do nothing. That's why I tell people, man, I'm not here to argue with nobody or nothing like that. That ain't my mission. But I don't waste my time on what's going on with no one else. You worry for you with your people, and righteousness for all man, spirituality, religion for all man. I ain't arguing with no man-made religion. At the end of the day, for my melanated people, we supposed to agree on something, and who we are, and our spirituality, and our nationality. That's what was taken from us from slavery, our nationality and our spirituality. And if you understand, we have nothing to argue about. We have nothing to argue about, our nationality and our spirituality, because no one is telling you what to believe in, because your belief system can be based on a lie, believing in things that you can't prove. So I'm not arguing with no one with that. I just hope you understand. But what I'm telling my brothers and sisters, all us melanated people, we have to agree on who we are as a people. Ethnicity, we have to agree. We have to agree. The Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15, clearly states that we have a right of a nationality and a right to change our nationality. No one would be arbitrary denied of a nationality and a right to change it. And to claim a child replaces the birth certificate. That's all I'm concerned. I don't care if you say Jesus, Yahushua, I don't care about no semantics. Once I sit down and talk to you, I'm going to understand what you're saying. I put on my meta glasses and say, Meta, what he saying? The same way people say Allah, I know it just means God. And actually, it's an acronym. To be honest, it's a lot that what's going on in the world, and I say it should be a bigger mission for us melanated brothers and sisters to be on. And I don't care about no religion like this, Crips and Bloods. I don't care what city we from. I care about who we are as a people and what was stripped from us from so-called slavery or so-called prisoners at war is our nationality and our spirituality. These is facts. Everything else to me is uncivilized. That will make you a complete fifth. What was taken from you from so-called slavery, your nationality and your spirituality, will make you a complete fifth. And we were written in no certain president Masonic chattels as 3/5 of a human being. These is facts, man. And facts are stubborn, but they're facts, and everyone know this. Even I show you all the history, the word Negro, N-I-G-G-A, and the negative aspect of Negro. It's scholarship of this. When Abraham Lincoln defended the Moore in court, he said, yes, how you spell Moore, M-O-O-R, they were having pun. You got to understand this stuff, the Spencer and Dungy case. When he said, well, is it illegal for my person to have a little darker skin than you? He's not Negro. That's why with everybody that we all from Africa. And I say, listen, I understand what you're saying, but this is a big world. What about the ancient and modern Britons? What about over in Corsica, where you see the Corsica flag? What about when you go over to the Netherlands and you research Swarty Pyatt, AKA Black Pete? What are we talking about? I can take you in Europe right now to the European Museum and show you all the melanated Europeans. I could take you to Russia and show you all the Russian icons, books that cost hundreds and thousands of dollars that I have. I can show you all the church fathers, their forefathers was melanated through Russian icons. I can show you Godfrey Higgins talk about this. Then I can show you what the Catholic Church have behind. The Sibyls, the Mami Waters, what the Catholic Church hide. Research what I'm telling you. That's why the god Artemis, they whitewashed it. You see NASA name one of the spaceships Artemis. That's history. That's Moorish history. And they always try to take the woman and then strip the color and then input man. You can't be mad at me. You research Mami Waters. Research the Sibyls, what the Catholic Church hid. I ain't even went nowhere. I ain't even went deep. Why? I've done this in academia. I got my dual master's degree from Grand Canyon University. I did my oral dissertations and my written dissertations. So I don't know what our melanated people have a problem with me for. Well, like why? Because you took an oath not to tell the truth? Tell you, because you can't sit up here and say I'm saying something wrong. And if you're a Freemason, we can have a conversation because I got your charter. You a Greek fraternity, we can have another conversation because I got your charter. I bet you all you can do is sit down and be quiet. And I know nobody don't want to play that game because it's going to reveal everything. It's going to reveal that you the joke of masonry, not the other man, because the other man will say that they a son of a Muslim. You will say you a widow son. It's some secret, and I say, what's the secret? You? See? You see what I'm saying? So until we look at each other with love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, until parents hold themselves accountable, the children ain't going to change. How? I just gave it an analogy. I just gave it pictorial. Why? Because everybody in their splinter game. You got the Hebrew Israelite. You got these sovereign citizen Moors. You got these religiously Christians. You got the Al-Islam Muslim. You got all these brothers arguing, and then I can show you from history what this all about. I can show you Farrakhan know what I'm talking about. I can show you well, all these people know what I'm talking about. I can show you what the Masons know that I know, because they have it all on their table. And it's just a matter of time. Steve Coakley told everybody that from educational purposes only, the Greek is a fraud. He told her that with no disrespect. So if anybody upset with me, what are you upset for? Most people don't even be knowing that their mothers and fathers be Masons and stuff until they pass. And then they get passed down they old fez. Instead of having circles on it, it had pentagrams and it be tied down. So you can't be mad at me. And then when I compare what the so-called Prince Hall Mason and what the so-called Eastern Stars, and then when I get the Atlantis of the latter days, I'd be like, wait a minute. I'd be like, wait, I said, this not it. And they said, well, they hid something from us. I said, dude, how can they hide something from you? And they talking about, and I exhume everything they hide. I got the same education that they have. I went to the same university they had. I do my same oral dissertation that they have. I'm part of the Philosophical Research Society. I'm transparent. I tell y'all everything. And I still don't have all my brothers. And these charlatans can get on here and say, all you got to do is lie and say you a Mormon and say you this. And say your Social Security is attached to this. Well, if your Social Security is attached to this, theirs should be too. Tell them to open up their portfolio. It ain't nothing but Fuji dust. And this is what I be saying. This stuff is fake. I tell y'all, I'm part of the Philosophical Research Society. I say is when people come on here playing the games, I can come with something and give the trump card and say, well, what about this? And if you say you a scholar and it's not the other, you're going to have to agree to scholarship. Or if not, this is not for you. You could continue to your belief system or your belief system. I don't have no problem with that. Just like I tell religious Muslims, I'm not Orthodox. I don't have no problem with you doing no 5 salats. I do the al salat. And mine is done standing up. I know that'll be time for the so-called slave to go out and do that thing. It'll take time. This is my rest time to crack my toes. It's in your Quran. And what makes his law is the Quran, not what man say, not no tradition. Tradition is back in the day. Today, if you still cutting the turkey in half. And I say, why are you cutting the turkey in half? And they'd be like, well, I saw Big Mama doing it. Yeah, because Big Mama did it back then. They had small conventional ovens. They had those big pans. You got these big conventional ovens and these big pans now. You don't have to cut the turkey. And if you do it today, it's tradition. Now, am I saying your tradition is wrong? No, but it ain't law. It ain't law. It's just like everything drops different with every different so-called Orthodox or religious person. Everything gonna be different. Let me tell you why. Okay, you got some Christians that celebrate December 25th. It's Jesus' birthday. It's Christmas, a jingle bell rock. And then y'all got the Christmas tree and all that. But in Jeremiah chapter 10, it's tell you don't follow the Nicolaitans, following St. Nick. So what you talking to me for? You do Easter stuff. Well, that's talking about following the idol worshiping. What the Nicolaitan was idol worshiping the tree, like the insanity. It was Yule, the insanity of us. It's like once you know the truth, then well, I'm still gonna do this. Well, it ain't no reason to keep talking to crazy people like that. That's insanity. Can't nobody tell me no different. That ain't no scholarship. It's like where you getting this stuff from? They left all that stuff to convert certain people. That's not Christianity. I'm sorry. If a person want to sit up here and argue with me and say, why did you argue with this man? And go do it in academia. Teach your kids this and see what they do. Because I already done it already. Both religions come from the other man. I'll show you. A lot of that stuff is old Jewish writers. A lot of that stuff come from the Watchtower. Rudolph in Detroit. A lot of times when certain individuals was going on in Detroit, I'm telling y'all, I'll show y'all a lot of stuff. You'll be like, wow. It ain't no wow. I keep telling people, I said, dude, this ain't about nobody else. This ain't about nobody else. Tell me why it is about somebody else. You can't. And the copy you with everything. Everything. What do you mean, Sheik? Right now, a lot of people believe in the Anunnaki is some alien, and our own people be promulgating that Eurocentric and that Negrocentric propaganda for educational purposes only. But that come from Zachariah Stitchin. That's pseudo. That's pseudo. And everybody, that come from Zachariah Stitchin, some pseudo stuff. And then y'all love Behold the Pale Horse. I said, dude, if I show y'all something, both of them are lower level Freemasons. Both of them. So can't nobody tell me and put the other man in front of us and they're going to teach us something so great. No, they not. They ain't finna teach you something so great. They ain't going to teach you that you the stuff. It's already got to be somebody that don't look like you or with some straight hair and some different figures to be your prophet in the flesh. Get out of here with that. Or we don't know where this person magically came from. If I show you documents, and when the person say, well, that ain't so-called David Ford or Far Muhammad with all love and truth, peace and freedom, because I'm not arguing that. When I superimpose the picture and blow it up, and I say, well, who's the brother sitting right next to this person you say ain't him? You know that's Ugan Ali. So if this Ugan Ali, and this picture is the same picture that you see on the movies and that you see with the other brother that called himself Melchizedek, that's still alive, that was from the Nation of Islam back in the day, and he say that is him, then you can't argue with me because I know for sure that's Ugan Ali. I know for sure that's Ugan Ali. Now what we gonna do? But that's what we do. We argue with semantics because religion has separated us. These type of religious Muslims, Sunni Muslims, they say this. The Nation of Islam, brother, they say, oh, we don't dress like that. We wear ties. What? Where did all that stuff come from? Culture and stuff, it's our attire. We ain't nobody dressed like nobody. If anything, we dress like the followers of Yahshua and high priest. What do you mean? I don't see no high priest in the biblical scriptures wear no suit, and it ain't no disrespect to no one. I don't see no high priest or no followers of the prophet or Muhammad wearing no suit and no bow tie and no hat that they made. What I do see is the followers of Yahshua and the high priest wearing tunics, cotton or silk, wearing turbans with the jewel on it, wearing their tunic, cotton or silk with their girdle. That's what I did see. Wearing their sash with their scimitar. That's what I do read. So when we try to say, well, this person is dressed like this, you clearly don't know your history. Because if you're using the Bible to explain who you are, you don't look like none of that. You look like an executive that works somewhere. I'm just saying, when it comes to the suit and a tie aspect, the Fez, when I say European Masons, Shriners, they done took the Fez, all presidents, all political powers, they were Masons. Especially the Europeans, they was what? Shriners. And Scottish Rite Masons. That's why they Feds had Islam, Mecca, Arabia, Allah. Y'all don't know that? That's why they had the Asiatic woman on there with the scimitar. Because if they told you the truth, off with their head. The European is not the joke of masonry. Our brothers is, with all due respect. Because they sons of Muslims. They'll tell you this. I'm telling my people. I bet you most old preachers in your city enough, they Masons. I bet you. Most old preachers is Masons. They done took an oath. Most old preachers, and I bet you a lot of people, uncles and dads on here with Masons, because my dad was a part of it. You know, because when you coming up and you intelligent and you an educator, that's going to be interested into you if you ain't jump all the way into the science. My dad was understanding both because the Moorish Science Temple was on M.L. King. But see, what makes things right is the people. All of our, listen, Haile Selassie was within a European shrine, was a Mason. Dr. Ben was a Mason. James Small is a Mason. I'm telling you what I know. Dr. Ben was a Mason. You can't sit up here and tell me no different because I got all, Farrakhan is a Mason. And then a lot of these people be under Dianetics. Ron L. Hubbard. So nobody can sit up here and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm going to start showing you the document. Well, this is good for us, this, and that, and the other. But then in the same breath, that man supposed to be the devil. In the same breath. I know what's going on. I know who's been paid off. I know in the prisons a certain group of people, that's why certain Islam is taught in the prison because certain people paid for it. Can't tell me no different. This is education. This is no hate towards no one. That's why I tell us, if all this stuff was so good in our communities, especially in my city of Flint, and we have all these religious groups I just named, because the purple people was in our neighborhood the other day. Y'all know who the purple people are? Y'all know who the purple people are? Peace, God. Peace, God. Y'all know who the purple people are? They was in my neighborhood on Ballinger just arguing, and I'm looking, and I'm like, wow. One of my homies called me, was like, "Sheep, you should come over." I said, "Listen here, I'm non-combative, man. I don't gather troops like that unless we really getting ready to make something happen. I'm not gonna be on no corner arguing over no fictitious book, especially the book you got written in Koine Greek, some English version. I'm not finna talk about that, and you don't have it in this original tongue. I'm not getting ready to deal with that. That's a waste of my time. Because at the end of the day, nationality for me is the order of every day. I don't care what religion you are, as long as you understand, because we're using the same books. What you're showing me is you don't understand. That's what you're showing me. So if you have no understanding, I can't be around that. Because nationality is order of every day. Don't nobody care about what your religion is. You put your hand on the Bible, yeah, but you don't know who you are. Everybody going back, all those brothers, I bet you they going back to their low-income families, with all due respect and no disrespect. I bet you a lot of them brothers are staying with women on Section 8 and welfare. How? Because I already did a synopsis of these brothers, because I be knowing that women that they dealing with, and the women that they dealing with be saying they ain't got 75 cents to rub together, and they be on the corner all day arguing with people. And you living with this woman with kids. And she on government welfare, Section 8. You wait for her to get her income taxes for she go get one of them old Chargers with 300,000 miles on it for you can drive it every day. See, I know what goes on. Why? If you in the city of Flint, can't tell me no different. We got Nation of Islam, brother. We got the Moorish Science Temple on ML King. That mug don't be open. So can't nobody sit up here and tell me. I ain't talking about the other man. I'm talking about us. The Moorish Science Temple of America is on Martin Luther King Avenue, kitty corner from that old school Gundry. Man, that thing don't be open. And I talked to the neighbor, my man that got the pit bulls live next door. He said, yeah, they be up here on Sundays around 4. Then when you call the number disconnected. The number disconnected. You call the Moorish Science Temple of America in Flint, Michigan, the number been disconnected for years. My man next door said he didn't want to be cutting the grass because he don't want to look like that. This is what I be telling y'all. Man, our people be wasteful. They just be on social media talking, with all due respect. And we some of the worst kind. Why? Because we don't love our own. I just showed y'all, we got all these religious people in our neighborhood. We got 3 and 4 churches on the same street. I ain't seen none of them. Because not a lot, all these preachers, and if you know some that I'm speaking wrong, tell me. All the preachers that I know, they don't live in the damn community. How you got a church in the neighborhood on Hamilton Avenue and your ass live in Grand Blanc? Or you live in Fenton? Man, go on somewhere. And you got a church not only in Flint and in Saginaw. What's the purpose of having a church in Flint and Saginaw? I'll wait. You can't. Why? What's the purpose? And if we got all these churches and it's only a few people, our people don't even know how to merge. I remember when I was assistant pastor at St. Mount Olive Baptist Church Pastor Stewart was the pastor, he'll preach at the 8 o'clock service and 11 o'clock service. The same message. So you're going to fake at the same time at 11 o'clock service, at 8 o'clock when you get the so-called Holy Ghost? That's why I be saying it ain't even that many people no more. You can have an 8 o'clock service, an 11 o'clock service, a 1 o'clock service, and a 3 o'clock service for all different people as a conglomerate and fill the houses up and fill the room. But everybody got to be on the same level. And everybody ain't on the same level. Why? Because there ain't no brotherhood. Let me tell you why there ain't no brotherhood. Because most of these preachers is Masons and Greek fraternities. Tell me they ain't. I'll start name dropping them all. You sit up here and say, well, no, they ain't. All of them. They either Prince Hall Masons, or they a Kappa, or they Q, or they the other one. Most of them is Qs and Kappas. And none of them stay in the city of Flint. Tell me I'm lying. You can't. And if you're a Freemason preacher, or so you in your lodge teaching something else because the higher science is Islam, and you in the church, and then you going back down, this is a joke. So we talk about the other man, I be like, man, I want to hear that. About, well, you know what, I don't want to hear no religious person putting no picture up and you see this is, no, that's cap. That's cap. We got the power today. We have the power. Come together, organize, unify. We don't go to no European churches. Brothers don't go to no European Masonic houses because they don't like you. I just told them brothers in Mississippi called me, Sheik, you know they ain't accept our charter. No S-H-I-T. You think they like y'all? That's why they made y'all a fictitious Prince Hall. Are you listening to me? They ain't accepting your charter. Why you need the other man stamp of approval? Tell me why. Suckers. With all due respect for educational purposes only. That's what that is. You can't tell me no different. No one can tell me no different than what I'm saying. We our worst enemy. These old preachers is Masons or Greek fraternities. How many of them? All of them. Look on the back of their car. Look on the back of their car. You'll see their insignia. Look on the back of their car. They only gonna say a little bit gonna stop, and all I'm gonna be on that back to Africa, that black stuff. And we all black people, and they all gonna say the same thing. Why? Because that's the programming. I'm telling you. And then they supposed to be educated. And man, I said that ain't no education. That's brainwashing. I sit you down with my European scholar, they be like, how did you graduate out of academia? I ask these people, do y'all believe in some Willie Lynch letter? They'll say it's real. And my professor would be like, Sheik, didn't you lecture that? I saw a misnomer black professor that's a pastor or was a pastor in the city of Flint. She was teaching at GCU, blew her head when they were like, oh, we got a brother from Flint. And she made them and one of my muftis, Dantes Smith L., he lives in St. Louis. He said that his teacher in high school it was required reading for them to read some Dango Roots. And I said, Alex Haley, that ain't his ancestors. I said, Alex Haley plagiarized that from a European named Harold Colander. A book called The African. Fact check me. I said, Alex Haley plagiarized a European named Harold Colander. Alex Haley made all that up. And then I could show you videos of so-called families on YouTube talk about some Kunta Kinte and them as their ancestors. And my professor, which is a European potentate, spit his juice out. He like, look at how black people, they so stupid. And I'm like, you right. He like, Sheik, but you not black. Nope. So I'm laughing too. He like, look at these black people on the internet talk about with videos and millions of views and Kunta Kinte, our ancestor. And he like, y'all own brother, all the black people, the professor quit. They were like, I held up the book African by Harold Kohler. I said, this is where this stuff come from. In the back of the book, I showed how Alex Haley was sued. And I said, the cognitive dissonance of our people is astronomical. The cognitive dissonance of our people is astronomical. Astronomical. And y'all know it. Because ain't nobody else came and teaching us nothing. You know, you ain't listening to the no WHIT, man. Your kids ain't doing that. No. That's cap. That's cap. But I bet you if your kids was being taught by the other man that was righteous, I bet you they'll tell the truth. That's why when people be like, are you afraid? My parents are elders. I live in Arizona, a red state. I'm telling y'all, if I didn't know what I was talking about, how did I graduate with honors? With a dual master's degree in first century history and religion and linguistics from Grand Canyon University, a Christian university. How? How did I get my undergrad in business management with a minor in marketing and sales and nonprofit business startup? I got my own charter. I got my own fraternal order. I be waiting for people to get on here with the lies. Our own people that lied to us. No other man lied to us. Why? Because I'm part of the Philosophical Research Society with people that don't look like me. We tell the truth. They truth seekers. And then the Masons that I know, that's Europeans, they sons of Muslims. I know them all. And it's all of the Osiris mysteries. It ain't no more than that. It's all the Osiris mysteries. I just gave you the whole clear up now. All the Masonic stuff, it ain't nothing but the Osiris mysteries, aka the mystery schools. In the Bible, what Moses learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians? So Moses was Aaron's mouthpiece. What do you think Moses taught Aaron? The mystery schools. And then I can show you that they all know this, from Farrakhan to the European Catholic priests. I'll show y'all. And they know this. I'll pull up all Godfrey Higgins documents. I have too much literature. I've done too many lectures to show this. So if anybody want to sit up here and argue with me, you wasting your breath. I promise you, I can show you what the Vikings are. I can show you what all this history is. You talk about what we talk about, caucus, man, that comes from Bloomberg. When I show you the Anglo-Saxon dictionary, Caucasians, they were Asians from a certain mountain. You don't understand history. It ain't me, because you giving some stuff to Bloomberg. Bloomberg came up with the whole thing, Caucasus Mountain. This is scholarship. This ain't no disrespect. Or you think you think the Caucasus Mountain was some Europeans? Like that's asinine. Caucasus Mountain, Caucasians. That's a compound word. See, when you deal with linguistics and time period, like when I tell people black was not used to describe ethnicity in first century. Black was used to describe in the theater when the black curtain came down. So with a lot of stuff, people be saying, well, this is black history, and we talk about some roots, and so Willie Lynch. I say, you see the Eurocentric and the Negrocentric propaganda that our own people play on us? Y'all want more propaganda? If y'all want more propaganda, say, shit, give me another propaganda. And this is gonna be for all of, we African, and this is the African holiday. Somebody say, give me some more. Like Busta Rhymes say, give me some more. Y'all want some more? Somebody say, give me some more. Watch this. I'm gonna clear it up real fast. No matter how no one feels, because we too emotional. We want the truth, we can't handle the truth. And then the kids look back and be like, oh, you on some jive turkey stuff. When everybody talk about some Kwanzaa is some propaganda too. Y'all know who Ron Karenga is? Ron Karenga was a COINTELPRO. That's who Ron Karenga was. Ron Karenga was a COINTELPRO. So when you get these black people, oh, it's Kwanzaa and this, man, you got to be crazy. Ron Karenga, he tortured Asiatic women. Ron Karenga wasn't nothing but a COINTELPRO. You see how we get played? Well, it's still, no, it ain't. The Kwanzaa is only old as Ron Karenga. What are we talking about? That ain't no historical. Kwanzaa is only old as Ron Karenga, the COINTELPRO, that torture our Asiatic women. Just like you got these misnomer black people in the church when they sing some Amazing Grace, and they act like there's some Negro spiritual. Once again, the psychosis of that mental craziness, that come from a European, a slave master. When he was on the boat on his last days, he ain't had no food and nothing. He asking God to forgive a wretch like him. But then here it is, our church mothers, well, we're gonna sing that. I ain't no wretch. I'm made in the image of the Creator. Where you getting this stuff from? Where you getting this trash from? We don't even know the etymology and the history of things. And we'll start sinking these spells upon us. All these spells. You want another spell? Kumbaya. Everybody be acting like kumbaya mean come by here. Come by here and do what? Come by here and do what? Come, the kum, the ba, the ya means stand up and arise. Stand up and arise. Come by here and do what? Even 1619, all that stuff is propaganda. I done this in academia. You can hear a pin drop. Did nobody say nothing? Did professors get up and walk out? Yes. Yes. So can't nobody say what it is and what it ain't. It's like, man, go on. Go on, man. Go on with the propaganda. Go on with the lies. If we ain't gonna believe in a WHITE lie, we dang sure ain't gonna believe in a BLACK lie. Or what makes your lie better? Because yours covered up with the blackface, with an adjective, and you all caught up in color? Let me tell you, because the Creator created the red bird, the blue bird, the polar bear, the black bear. Let me tell you how we clear things up when these religious people use the Bible in the wrong context. I told y'all about Laban. I showed y'all when the purple people on the corner be arguing with and the other man, but you on but the woman you sleeping with on welfare. I guarantee you, every one of them brothers that they women on welfare, on government assistance. I guarantee you, and they baby drinking Similac, and they getting WIC. I guarantee you, and they own Section 8, and they rent $14. That's why they be out there acting a damn fool. Why? Because they renting them for $14. I didn't want to be talking about the Laban and try to use it as derogatory. I say Laban mean white literally, like my white shirt. Because if that's the case, I broke it down. Jacob married Laban 2 daughters. So if that's the case, Jacob married the W-H-I-T-E man's 2 daughters. Well, what do you mean? Now, ain't no well what I mean. You out here playing this color game out here on the corner. And always using color spectrum, man. Hate is a condition. I told you I live in Arizona. I ain't had no problems wearing my fez, my turban, my tunic, my bonnet, my kufi, because most of them I'm Melchizedek, or I'm holy man, or I'm sheep. Why? Because their kids know me. Because I'm alumni at GCU, and I lecture at their Masonic houses and at the Catholic Church. How? Because that's where my professors are, and I get paid. So when people I don't entertain no poor stuff. It's no honor in being poor and broke. Well, God, we supposed to live. That's cap. Read Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19. Wine is made for laughter, but money trumps all. They're going to try to tell you the money the root to all evil because you don't have none. No, you evil. And what money does is superimpose whoever you are. No, you call money the root to all evil, which is false because you don't have none. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19. Wine is made for laughter, but money trumps all. See, you ain't heard that, have you? I know you haven't. Why? Because we still with that poor bum stuff. I guarantee you, if you do a synopsis or you do an audit of those brothers, all they women on welfare. And so let's use welfare as the W-H-I-T-E man. I bet you all of them is in love with the W-H-I-T-E man. Why? Because they all on welfare. I bet you all they women getting food stamps if they got multiple babies because they like to have kids. I bet you. How much you want to bet? And then when they done dealing with them, I bet you they leave them as single moms. And then those single moms that was supposed to be in the Hebrew science, then they become what? Regular citizens. And they put them on welfare in Section 8. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. Because if you got that much time to be arguing in your own neighborhood on the corner with the same people, what's the purpose? Our focus should be the babies. Our focus should be community. It shouldn't be on the corner with that arguing. This not conscious community. This not Sonetta TV. With all due respect, I keep telling people, I said, dude, okay, religion is just a part. It was 2/5 that was taken from the call the misnomer black man. Our nationality and our spirituality. Think about this. And a lot of these leaders were police. A lot of these religious leaders in the Hebrew Israelite stuff, they were policemen. They Freemasons. All this. And then the group, it's no different from the Girl Scouts. How they sell all the cookies and they go to the main body. You know, it's no different from the same thing. It's no different from certain religion when they say, yeah, the nation own all this. But what do the people have that's selling the stuff? What do they have? Do they have a nice house? Do they have a nice car? Do they have a plethora of suits? I be seeing these brothers with dirty suits. I be seeing Moors with dirty fezzes. And then a lot of those brothers that dress in that purple, if they ain't had that purple jumpsuit, you wouldn't want to be around them. No disrespect. It ain't no disrespect to no one. That's not what we promulgate. I love spirituality. I love that, but it's more to that. We don't have religion all our lives, and we still arguing on it. You know, it's more than that. What? Education, wisdom, finances, group economics, running our community. I mean, we should not be arguing over no. In the Bible, give me John 3:14. And man, nobody got time for that. We get that. We should be way past that. We should be way past that exoteric arguing over some color. Because that's all you're giving people is one version. You're giving them the exoteric. You're not giving nobody no SO. You're not giving nobody no international wisdom. You're not giving nobody no supreme laws of nothing. None of that's happening. It's the same type of man-made religion. That if you ain't with this religion and then you no good. Well, it was 16 crucified saviors before Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, smart guy. It was 16 crucified saviors before Jesus Christ. 16. And then, if you want to go there, when you say everybody a Hebrew Israelite, we can get technical with origin. Hebrew is just an act that was done. But let's play devil's advocate just for a tittle. If you say these so-called people went to a certain land, what land? Canaan land, and they went and destroyed everybody, you know, and took over them and made them cross over and converted them to your religion, to their God and all this. Well, who are these people that you say we are that went in the continent of Africa and destroyed some own people that was there based off your God telling you to do this? To me, that looked like the same thing Negroes doing today. Think about it. This is why when you hear those Hebrew Israelites and a lot of those different camps, they'll say they got more in common with a WHITE man than a brother from Africa. Because you got into propaganda again. Think about what I'm saying, man. This ain't no, I don't have no disrespect to no one. I'll be like, this is a joke. It's a joke. And so they use the Bible to act like righteousness is contingent on color. But the righteousness says love your neighbor as you do yourself. That's what the biblical scripture says. Your righteousness is not contingent on no color spectrum. And if you want to use Deuteronomy to say we all some slaves, no, you, because I ain't no slave. I'm from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David by blood. You see, my family ain't been no slaves. So you can take that slavery stuff. I don't have no family slave history. My family is Americans. My whole family history and my coat of arms, my family is from Florida. Plant City, Florida to be exact. Tampa, Florida, where we had strawberry farms. My father's father, I have the history of that. I don't have no history of nobody coming over here on no boat. Was people coming over here on the boat from so-called Africans? Yes, but that ain't the whole history. All y'all got to do is research One World Tartarians. I lectured this. It didn't happen like that. Everyone know this. Scholarship, it didn't happen like that. So if you thought the transatlantic slave history was like that, you ain't never read the Arabic slave trade, have you? That's why these religious people, they'll tell on each other. Watch this before I close. Let me show you how they'll tell on each other. They say the same thing. And I said, all you got to do is listen. Just like when Farrakhan gave Noble Drew Ali credit on Founders Day and said that our prophet was the one that brought this type of Islam to the North American Negro. They know this. But why? You don't know. Why? Peter Lambert Wilson and Sacred Drift. It's a book called Sacred Drift by a European named Peter Moon. That's his pen name, a.k.a. Studium, because if you was writing the history back in the times, you would be took out. He got a book called Spondu Mystery with all these U.S. generals on there with the prophet on there. Why you think that he wrote a book called Spondu Mystery with all those U.S. generals on there with our prophet on there? Why? Why you think that? And then they try to rate the book no good. It's to keep you away from it. Listen to this. Watch this. Let's see if this will play. Listen to this. Hold on, wait.
She was ugly. A statue of Moses in the Congressional Library. Moses, the great emancipator, they kissed his toe until the toe had become, the metal had been worn off of it. They loved Moses because without Moses, they would never have gotten up out of the caves.
The most important judicial building in our country, the place at which so much of the legal trajectory of this nation is determined, prominently features a figure from the Bible. And that figure's name is Moses.
Uh-oh.
Explore the neighborhood around the Supreme Court further, and you'll see that Moses's East Pediment appearance is not an anomaly. At the Supreme Court itself,
his peace ediment appearance, his skin tone. If you understand linguistics, brothers and sisters, I'm telling you.
Moses is again featured, this time alongside Hammurabi and two Roman jurists, in a medallion on the building's north side. Within the courtroom where Supreme Court arguments are held, Moses and his stone tablets are depicted in a set of friezes that also includes a variety of secular individuals, as well as King Solomon and the Prophet Muhammad. For more Moses, you can walk across East Capitol Street to the Library of Congress, where in the main reading room you'll see a bronze sculpture of our friend, which paired with a similar sculpture of St. Paul the Apostle represents the discipline of religion, one of 8 such disciplines contained in that massive collection of books. And then you can cross First Street to the United States Capitol itself, the home of our nation's legislative branch, in which Moses sits atop the famous chamber of the House of Representatives as one of 23 lawgivers whose busts are sculpted in marble above the gallery doors. Moses, while one of the 23, is also set apart from the others. His place is at the center of the gallery, above the entrance doors, directly opposite the speaker's chair. Of the 23 lawgivers, only Moses faces forward. All 22 other lawgivers, including
all body, all rib cage, all everything. 12 and 12 is what? 24. I'm telling you.
Thomas
Wow.
Jefferson and Napoleon are positioned to Moses' side, deferring to him. The Speaker of the House, when she or he looks up, also faces Moses. And even the President, when delivering a joint address to Congress, is subject to Moses' gaze.
Moses had a job west. Moses had a job east. After he got him up, when you walking on all fours, and sometimes they tell you when you're real tired and you come home from a hard day, if you want to relax, get down on your all fours. That's not for you.
I just want to give y'all that little bit. They all know. I can show you Founders Day when Farrakhan giving credit to Noble Drew Ali. It's on my YouTube channel. When he giving credit to Noble Drew Ali, and then everybody think that older man is Elijah Muhammad's brother. And he like, well, the first time I ever saw the feds, it went fired. No, because you already said the first time you saw the feds is when you ran across your sister's husband, and he had the feds that wasn't defiled. And then you would see the feds that he have on, you would see his tassel was clipped. I'm telling you, they really, hey man, like I'm telling you, don't nobody have to listen to me, because I'll pull out the book. It's called The Negro is the Indian, a.k.a. the Blackamoor. And I'll show you on the last page when it was passed out to the lost and found nation of Islam in the 30s and the 60s. So they know what I'm talking about. Point blank. And so this is what I be trying to tell us. Until we stop worrying about what somebody else is, some $5 Indians, until we understand that this is the uniting of Asia, and it's one nationality and many cultures, and let other people deal with their own crap. We shouldn't be entertained in that. We shouldn't even be talking about, well, where do the other man come from? They come from the same place you come from your mama. And where? In 9 months. That's Immaculate Conception. You know? You know? You know what I'm saying? This is the things that I'm saying. And so that's why I tell everybody, follow me on YouTube, y'all. Follow my name, Kari Ivan Hakeem Goodman Bey, and the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. Follow us there. Because I told y'all, on this TikTok stuff, it's just be weird. Follow me on my personal pages. Because I ain't here, because if I was on here talking crazy and telling y'all all hold a bunch of sovereign citizen stuff, they wouldn't try to shut me down. That's popular. That's why y'all think all these charlatans on TikTok, on all this stuff. Because they okay with getting y'all caught up. It's millions of dollars in the false history. But when I start coming and talking like this, that's why I don't care about TikTok and all this social media. I tell y'all to follow me privately and then come to my private lessons that I teach on Zoom. I have private teachings. That's why I said it ain't about the masses. It's about the right ones that know my voice. And then we take it further. I ain't trying to be no influencer. That don't matter to me. Because the righteous, we never get the right credit. We never get the right credit maybe until we go. But I ain't Dr. Ben or none of the rest of them. I'm not leaving the flesh poor and broke. I'm not a poor righteous teacher. My people know my voice. And this is what I tell people. And if my people not going to catch on and support and donate and give them a taxes every receipt, I must move forward. I have no problem with that. I don't owe anybody nothing. I must move forward and teach those that want to be taught. And that's what I see the difference from us and other people. They use this for power. They want their kids to be taught at a young age because they know they're going to be powerful. They want their kids to have their own brotherhoods and their fraternal orders. This is what they've been taught at a young age. They teach them spirituality. That's why they call it Jewish school at a young age. That's why they call it 7th hour. We don't have that. We be having some latchkey or some after school activities where they feeding our kids milk and frozen pizzas and all that stuff that's no good for them. And then we talk about diet and eating, and you say you a Christian, well, you're not under no right dietary laws. So all this culture, our babies not getting, and the other children are getting their culture. Why? Because their elders are teaching them. I'm able to see this. All my European Jewish colleagues, their kids go to Jewish school, man. When they get out of school, they go to 7th hour. In the summertime, they ain't sitting at home playing PlayStation all day. They getting dropped off at the church, at the synagogue, because the priest is a teacher and he got it set up that way. They getting dropped off at 8. They getting picked up at 5 or 6. Like we so far behind. So that's why we don't know what's going on in the community with our kids. Because there's no culture, there's no community. And if something happen, nobody can say, hey, we got to go get young such and such, such and such. Why? You got to turn yourself in. It's no community. And so when people be saying all this, I said, nope, it's not just one thing, it's all of it. It's a lack of male, how can I say, mentors, fathers. It's a lack of education, community, and it's a disconnect from the men. Because the young kids right now, especially if you're from my city of Flint, I'm from West Patterson, you can ride down DuPont Street right now and see a whole bunch of jacklegs standing outside my age at the store. So what can you tell the young kids if they see the old people still doing the same thing? If they see people hanging out the store, not building, if they see the people tearing everything up, how can we respect our community? When a young man get 20 or 15 and he become totally disrespectful and the mom didn't say nothing or the dad didn't say nothing or nothing. And so now we just got a whole community of reckless children with no discipline. And then you have to get locked up to become Islam or to become this. And I say, you don't. You don't. This is supposed to be the United of Asia. And this is what I tell my people. This is what I say. We should not get on social media and be disrespecting people. That shows the craziness. People should be protecting people that's teaching right. Just like the people sat by, and I'm just using this as an analogy. People sat by and just watched Jesus get blamed for nothing and watch him get hung. And I'm using it for an analogy. And everybody be saying, they with you, I'm with you. And then when it come down, when people are coming the wrong way and people are like, well, this is my teacher and this. And when disrespect comes, we won't even stand up in the midst of disrespect. We'll let someone touch our own spiritual head that's teaching us. And then when it all leave, we all destroyed. Like Mike Vick. One of his homies, no, they should have took the case. You know Mike Vick is the $1 million man. So y'all let him get took down, then the whole mission is over. That's sad. Like that's why the scripture call us a stiff-necked people. Why? Because we'll sit up there and act like we ain't see it. And we right here with our brothers that done put the work in that you know is for the people. That people have been following me for over 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years on this platform. No, I ain't sending nobody to burn the house. I ain't have to reinvent myself. I ain't out here fellas selling no fake ID cards like this, some pay for your leisure, or I can show you some Ponzi scheme or some pyramid scheme. I ain't did none of that. Or take my program, none of this. I told you I was gonna happen, and look at what's happening. All of them, they try to run to religion. All of them. When the spotlight be on them. And then when the feds get on them, because I tell y'all, what the feds do, they PFI stuff. Well, they'll let you do all that stuff because you're doing it in the melanated community. It ain't spread out to their community. So they'll PFI you for a minute. What you mean PFI? Pending further investigation. You will get indicted. When you get indicted, most NBCs, they tell on themselves and they plead to a lesser charge. How you know? I know. And so they plead to a lesser charge. They might get 5, 7 years like Michael Novak did. You know who that is. Polite. He took a plea. He ain't want to go through all that. He took a plea. I ain't taking no plea or nothing I do. I'm going to just deal with it. But I know how this stuff go. And I'm telling you people, our own people do this to us. Ain't no European got locked up for lying to us and hustling us. It's been our own people in these certain paradigms. I told y'all about all the rest of this stuff. I said, oh, these dudes is male-on-male stars. Y'all know what I mean. How you know this? Dude, how I know this? Look at the person's eye. The same way I be knowing a lot of these preachers ain't right. And if it was kids around them, what you think happening? It's just honesty. We do this to our own selves, and then we bury it and try not to talk about it. And we have to clean our own house out. I'm telling y'all, this is the truth. We being played by our own people that use religion as a plus to get you caught up. And it ain't just men, it's women too, right? Look at it. Look what's happening right now. All the so-called influencers that act like they living this life of, now you got to prove it. Now you get audited. Just like the dude doing the same thing Michael Novak doing, riding around in the car. He told y'all he made $3 million during the COVID. And then now they own him. Like, you made $3 million in the COVID doing what? Got him. Now you get audited. Now the spotlight is on you. And now it's just a matter of time. And I told y'all, this is what happens. This is what happens. It's word salad stuff. And only an intelligent person can play stupid. A stupid person, all they can do is come with scams and cross their fingers and hope that they can make enough money, with their people, before they disappear. And switch to the next program. It's no different. It's no different. And this is what I tell my people, man. It's like all this stuff is payola. All this stuff is like infomercials. And people, I call it one-to-twin power scam groups, that they come together with these podcasters, and the men is just, and the women is just as guilty as the men, and get these same people on there. And I say this is payola. And they know this is cap when they getting on there. Because if it's not cap, as I close, if I have somebody on my podcast and I got hundreds of thousands of views, that's payola. That means I can get this person to hear views. But if I get a person on my show, right, and I say, your social security number is attached to millions of dollars, right, and XYZ, why just yours is attached to $1 million? Shouldn't mine be attached to $1 million as well? Because I got a belly button, I got a navel as well. So I got a social security number as well. So why they telling you, your social security number is, you can file it, but they ain't did it. Like that, like the insanity of our people. Like, people want pageantry stuff. Like, a person had a badge on and act like they got a badge from a clergy people. I said, dude, that's not real. They don't do that. That's cosmetics. The same way with the Moors with making an AA22 badge and selling it. The same way they will talk about these are some travel ID. The same way. This is some what they call it, Never Farms. And ain't no Never Farms, some fake 400 acres. The same way with the fake Black Wall Street. The same way with the dude said he graduated from Harvard, and I know the real Billy Carson that graduated from Harvard. The entrepreneur, the multi-millionaire. That's why I be saying our own people be playing us. Like, are y'all serious? And once again, that's what a lot of our women follow, and these men. They follow this crazy social media stuff, but then follow me at the same time, and the psychosis of that. How can you follow a truth teacher and then follow the shenanigans at the same time and then say you righteous? You shouldn't even be dealing with that. You should be like, man, this stuff is phony. You should be like, how you telling somebody, well, you can just act like you're not a Mormon. So you're going to lie to the courts, and now you got to prove everything. You got to prove everything you saying. You ain't a part of nothing. Give me your religious charter. Give me your religious exempt to say that you ain't for or against getting no shot. None. You see? So you're gonna go in the courts for the record and lie, because you ain't a part of nothing. But somebody on social media that you don't even know their real name for number uno, and you finna send your information to somebody inbox or to somebody fake P.O. box. That's who you doing business with? There's no excuse of not knowing the law in a court of law, brothers and sisters. And that's because people can say all that stuff, and then I say, have you done it? Have you filed this? People be lying. What these people have done since the so-called pandemic and a lot of this poor science, because a lot of these people are not true Moors, they got into this to try to act like you can become something and you don't have to pay no bill. You don't have to pay child support. You don't have to pay a car note. Or you can cancel corporate debt. That's cap. You're not no sovereign citizen. A sovereign and a citizen, that's an oxymoron for educational purposes only. These is facts, no matter how nobody want to feel about these things. It ain't no special law for no Moors. It ain't no fake Moorish court. It ain't no consular courts. If a Moor, K-I-L-L, a U.S. citizen, that Moor is going to be judged in the same parameters of that U.S. citizen. That's the real consular courts. So you can be mad at me all you want. Brothers can be mad at me all you want, but it's precedent in law cases, doc number, Free Information Act. It's a lot of things that it's not true. It's a lot of stuff people ain't with the court and won poo diddly. If they did, tell them to give you the doc number. They can't give you the doc number. Tell them to give you the precedent in law or the case number that case was happening in chambers. It's none. What I'm gonna tell you what people went to court for is drive without no license or squatting in houses. I'm telling you, I'll give you these people real name, and every one of them lost. I told the Empress, don't follow them Ninja Turtles to tell you to expatriate from this de facto government, and they'll let you, and then they done hold up some fake certificate they done got off Amazon or the Christian store and talk about you part of their society. I said, ma'am, you know what you are now? What? I said, you a domestic terrorist, foreign and abroad. She said, what you mean? I said, you expatriated. Now, who do you affiliate with? I said, you, with all due respect and educational purposes and lawful purposes, I said, ma'am, you a domestic terrorist, foreign and abroad. Yep. Laughing. The schools called her, everything. They were like, ma'am, all her so-called government funding. I said, yep, you played yourself. Lost her little cheap $15 of rent, lost all that welfare, and now get it from these Negroes, excuse my candidate, that you say you part of their community. Because you done expatriated. Let's see if they give you cheap housing. Let's see if they give you WIC to feed your son. Let's see if they give you cheap insurance. You done lost all that listening to them and you crying. Because you done expatriated, listen to these people you done met off the internet and you don't even know these people's real name. And everything about you, lady, before you met these people, you've been on welfare and government assistance. All your babies been on government assistance. And then you meet a group of people and you say, well, I'm a Moor now, and you do all this, and then when everything started crumbling, what? Because see, these is facts. This is life. I can start giving you names. I know the social workers came and took women's kids because their kids went to school. Yeah, we Moors, we don't have no running water and electricity at my house. Got them. You can't do that in no neighborhood. The local law and the state law trump that. If you live in a neighborhood and you ain't paying no local estate tax, talk about you a Moor, you a lie. That means your house finna get foreclosed for back taxes. And if you in my city of Flint, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna go down to the title company and say, well, yep, you know you ain't paid these property taxes in a couple years, 3 years, so I'm gonna go pay the property taxes. You got X amount of time to pay the property taxes. If not, it's mine. And then I'm gonna put the house in a whole different type of ownership because I'm gonna take it out of public and make it private. I'm gonna take it out of public and make it private. I'm gonna make sure I own the land that it's owned too. So I don't know what people be talking about. I know people be not telling the truth. I know people like to hear a lot of fictitious stuff, but if we got a referee that sat down and all this fictitious stuff that they saying on social media and sit me right down, I bet you I'll come out, be like, why y'all, like this man been telling you everything else. He'll be like, why am I here? Because y'all can look up everything what this man talking about right with your phone in your hand. Everything I'm talking about, you can look it up right now and be like, yep, that's facts. When people be like, well, we not white, I say, I ain't say we was white. I said white by law. I said white by law. What's our nationality? Moorish American. What's our race? I choose Asiatic. What's our status? Free white. If you don't understand that, then you don't understand that law governs all events. It's a certain way you must be on paper. We must agree to certain things that's agreeable. Not arguing over semantics if you don't know. I didn't say you was a white man or this, not, and the other. I say by law. When it comes down to certain things, you have to understand this. You have to know that you're not Negro, black, and color, and African American. You have to understand these things if we're dealing with certain things. Especially if we're dealing with lawful things that we can agree on, that we can say, okay, what were we on paper? What were we before we were tampered with? And I can show you that on paper we were Moors. Moorish American, especially in my city of Flint. I can take you to the city hall and ask, what would we call before the Civil War? I can show you our proclamation and declaration. I ain't arguing with no one else. The Moorish Science Temple was on M.L. King across the street from Gundry Community School. I have our charter. I can take you to the CCRD, the County Clerk Recorder of Deeds, telling you everything about the 10-9, ain't no religious affidavit. It's how the prophet set the temple up. I'm transparent on everything. I tell you all about the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15. We got to stop giving our science to people. I haven't took no oath. I'm 99 degrees, ancient rite of Memphis and Mizraim. 32 degrees is in meteorology. That's when water freezes. That's snowman wisdom. A lot of people have took an oath in our community not to tell the truth. And a lot of those are Freemasons and brothers that's in Greek fraternities. With all due respect, I'm not here to disrespect no one. I'm not. But you cannot sit up here and tell me no difference, which I know. Because if all these old people in our families and all this, they got something that's so special, why are you not bringing it back to the communities and speaking on it? How I know all this stuff and I got the same education that you have? Somebody took an oath not to tell the truth. That's all I'm saying. And it ain't the other man. Somebody took an oath not to tell the truth. Now, who took an oath not to tell our people the truth? Who operating under Eurocentric and Negrocentric propaganda? Who's doing that? You see? And now, and today, what's happening in our neighborhood, we need our men, we need our parents to participate, we need our women to step up, especially if you're a single mom and you got kids and you know your kid out here is just terrorizing, you're going to have to turn them in. You're going to have to turn them in. It's just what it is. We cannot allow this anymore. Like we don't know what's going on. It got to be certain people that everybody respect. Can't have all these religions in our little bitty neighborhood. Can't have all these old churches and they abandoned and we ain't making no noise and say, no, we're going to support bro. We're going to support bro. Bro got a whole blueprint for us. Bro got a library. He got a whole food regimen. And that I just gave y'all Daniel chapter 1, verse 8 through 11. That's another reason why we all messed up. How? Because I'm looking at everybody and they overweight. You trying to tell me you ready to battlefield. No, you ain't. Read Daniel. That's what my whole thing. Read Daniel chapter 1, verse 8 through 11. You can't do nothing. You can't even be disciplined to what you put in your mouth. You can't. And when I tell people, your body is tapped out because it's underused. You're not tired. Your body is underused because all you do is go to work. This is what people say, I'm getting that money. That's the problem. They don't put that in front of us, something that man created. They don't put money in front of us, and that's what our focus. Oh, I'm getting that money. That's what you see everybody posting. Oh, peace, everybody. I'm getting that money. Look how much money I'm making. That's cap. Who you helping? Who you supporting? Money ain't nothing. You'll never have enough money. And the person working a job, I don't care if damn if they paying you $3,000, $4,000 a week. It still ain't no money. Cause let's see what you got. Let's see what you own. Everything you giving it back. You don't own nothing. You ain't supporting nothing. You don't own your house. You don't own no car. You don't own nothing. You ain't donating to no real movement. You listening and you talking. That's it. Our money ain't been spread like my European Jews when they get behind people. When I graduated with my dual master degree, 3 of my colleagues, 2 of them went back to Oregon, 1 of them went back to North Dakota, and they became who they are. And the whole community supported because the community sent them to get their master's degrees and come back and be who they are in their neighborhoods. I sit on their boards in real life. That's how I know what can happen. When I be showing people this blueprint and they take it back in the neighborhood and they say, we a religious community. They're like, your people don't understand that y'all tax exempt for the federal government and everything can be done under the religious charter, under the fraternal order, and everything that people give to Uncle Sam, you can donate to your religious and charitable organization of your choice, which is the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, and y'all she can give y'all a tax exempt receipt, and that's how y'all can build y'all spiritual house. That's how y'all can build y'all charter school. That's how y'all can build y'all after school activities in y'all library and y'all computer lab. Like something wrong with y'all. And then I be hearing my people, and they no disrespect because I ain't saying no names. If you mad at what I'm saying, don't care. That's the problem with our feelings. When you say something that don't make sense, I'm not going to agree with it. We say, well, that's why we need after school programs. We don't have enough government mandated programs that just babysitting our kids. We need our own people with the blueprint and people that just giving their money away. We need to support something that's real. If not, it's never going to happen. That's what I keep telling y'all. I say it's never going to happen. I'm not mad with my European colleagues, my Jewish colleagues, because they have Jewish school. I'm not mad with my Indians, the sheiks, because they have their schooling. I'm not mad with my Muslim brothers and sisters because they have Muslim school. I know this for a fact. I'm part of their community. Especially when I'm in Arizona, I saw them build their whole miles up the street from my house in AZ. Cats I graduated with. They were like, at least come and pray with us in Juma and lead prayer sheet. They're like, you just a Sufi. They're like, we understand. You're just a higher level Islam, let you understand, but I don't disrespect the rest. I'm just a high priest. And if other people respect me like that, why don't my own people? And that's why I said a prophet and an angel is no good in his own country. That you must leave your own community and your family and go to a red state where people don't look like you and be adopted by other people with wisdom. And then when I come back home, everybody see that I'm anointed and consecrated. I don't be loved by my own people. I ain't coming back SHIT and on my people. I'm coming back trying to resurrect my people. I ain't coming back with no Escalade and charging people thousands of dollars to hear me. And I'm not doing that. I say, man, I'm asking for a small donation and I give everybody a tax exempt receipt and I give them books. I can't get melanated people to do that. But everybody went and saw Michael Jackson. Everybody that's spiritual, I asked them, you wouldn't see Michael Jackson? Oh yeah, boy, Michael Jackson was good. Michael Jackson was good. Really? But be on my page, don't donate nothing. Don't get no books. But you saw Michael Jackson. And this is the irony of what I be saying. We are so much entertained that we don't see how much money we spend on that. But what do we put on this? And I have a full library. I have a full library. Everybody that know me personally know I have a full library. I'm shipping books out every day to Cleary and to these other people at the colleges. And then I offer them to my people on here for pennies of the dollar. I have people that they send me $100 a month. I give them 10 ebooks each month. Some of the books be worth thousands of dollars. I got a book right now that's worth $20,000 on Amazon. Y'all see me post all this stuff. It's worth 20 bands on Amazon and Google. Why? Should no piece of paper cost no 20,000? It's something in it that they don't want the average person to know. Just like Russian Icons by Vladimir Ivanov. Just like Melanin, The Chemical Key to Black Greatness. These books cost stacks. Just like Atlantis of the Latter Days. These books cost stacks because there's wisdom in it. And ain't nobody paying as much for this stuff but me. And the people that I'm connected to, they give them to me because their children don't want it. So all I have is solutions. Everybody that be on social media that be bragging like they getting to the money, who you supporting? What do you support? Because I know nobody go to church and I know nobody don't go to the mosque. So what do you support? You just on social media talking. You just on my page playing. And that's what most people doing with me. They playing. All my people that know me, that see me in the city of Flint, yep, that's good. But you ain't supporting. So when it come down to the come down, they can say, do you support? You support. They can say, no, you watch. And you was a spectator. They can say you are the spectator and you watch. And we're supposed to use social media to bring us together. This is just an introduction for us to know people. This is how I met all my muftis. And we going on 7 years. And then there's people that have been knowing me all my life because I'm on my media page on Facebook and I'm on YouTube. It's people on my platform that have been knowing me all my life, that be at the hospitals to see me. I just lost my partner I've been knowing all my life. I lost his brother 2 years ago. It's people that see me be on my page, peace this, peace God, but they don't support nothing. I like this stuff is crazy to me. With all due respect, it's crazy. And I say, what are we doing with our money? I ask everybody, because it ain't about money, but it is about money. If we're not going to spread our money to do some of the things that we know it take money to do, and we know we're dealing with somebody righteous, then you got to tell me what's your purpose. Because just telling people peace God and peace noble and peace king and peace queen, to me, that ain't enough. Especially if we say we don't have nowhere where no one being taught and nobody don't come to class and everybody see me, man, I can't wait till you get your building in the city of Flint. What y'all waiting for me to hit the lotto? What people wait for me to hit the lotto and spend, I have to spend all my money and everybody can just come and sit. I say, no, we build the temple. The people build the temple and the school and everybody get a tax and receipt. The people, we giving our money away to Uncle Sam willingly, the people, and I give everybody a tax and receipt. And that's how we build our temple and our school and our library and our computer lab. With the money we giving Uncle Sam that y'all think y'all getting a tax return. That's how. Because I'm seeing people on social media posting how much money you making. This ain't no disrespect to no one. When I be telling people, how can you get mad over something that you post? This is what I be telling people. Everybody on here would be bad criminals because you would tell on yourself. You would get right on social media and flex. And that's a problem. And I be telling people, especially women, that be by themselves. And I says, oh, so you protected? Oh, so you okay with telling everybody your business? Who do you support? I'll be waiting. This stuff be capped. I'll be talking to my empresses. I said, who do you support? What do you support? Well, I wish in our city of Flint we had this. How are we going to have it if we don't support it? And I exhume everything that everybody's saying we want. That's why I'm back in my city. I did it in Arizona. I said, I cannot just do this out in Arizona. They were like, you going back home? I said, I got to go home and take care of my mother because she's going through something right now. But I didn't want to build my temple in Arizona. You know, I didn't because I won't get any walk-ins. What you mean, Sheik? Walk-ins? My people from my city. I told you I got blood in these streets of the city of Flint. My brother is buried here. All my cousins, Miguel, Mike Ville, Michael Blackmore, Marlon. It's too much history. A lot of my people that I did the eulogies. I don't want to just build my temple in Arizona, even though that's fine. I want to build my temple in the city of Flint, where I come from, where I went to elementary, where I went to middle school, where I went to high school, where I started my college education at. If I feel like I owe the city something. If we got all these churches that ain't doing nothing, we got all these Masonic and these Muslim houses and these Muslim houses, and brothers ain't doing nothing because I don't see nobody, and ain't nobody upset. That's why I be saying this stuff be capped. People just be posting stuff. Be mad at me all you want to. You ain't got to say nothing to me never again in life because ain't nobody stopping my movement. People just be posting stuff. Yep, acting like y'all know people that got money on something. Don't nobody got no money on nothing. That's what I be telling people. Stop posting what other people posting. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? How much money you gonna put up? How much money you gonna put up on something? You know, you start with something. Say, I got New Era Flint. Community engagement. Say, bro, how much we need to donate to help you get it going on? How much you need to donate for, because we know you from the city. We know you got contact. I can go to all of the youth lockup. I can have stuff happen in the hood. I can go to every neighborhood and with the worst of the worst and have them meet. And they tell me, I bet you if I go into all the neighborhoods, I'll find out what happened. Right now, I guarantee you. Why? Because you think these kids are smarter than me? They're going to cry on my elbow. I bet you I can go right in the neighborhood and find out everything. Why? Because we know. So until we start supporting something, it ain't nobody can tell me nothing. Nobody, no grown person can tell me something that I see at Hot Now at rallies at Halo Burger when they first open and doing all this stuff and then jump on social media and complaining. You ain't putting no money behind nothing. That's why the misnomer black people have no mission. Every other alphabet got a mission. From the LBT, from this, from that. Why? Because they put some paper behind something. If we have something, if the misnomer Black Lives would show something, where the Black Lives Movement at? It ain't even ran by black people. It ain't even ran by people that do nothing. It's a joke. So if my city of Flint, we worried about the mayor and all this, we the people, what we gonna do? And I said, we afraid to be the change unit. It's people on my page right now from Flint that just be barking. And I'm talking about women. I'm talking about men too. Don't y'all know, remember the movie Chirac? Where Nick Cannon was in, and them brothers were just killing each other up in the neighborhood. Listen to the analogy. And them brothers was killing each other, ganging. And I said, women, y'all can stop all this. Why? Because y'all can close y'all legs and not give these brothers nothing. And y'all know that most of these dudes pillow talking, no matter what age they are. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all know what's going on. But they ain't supporting nothing. See, all these men on social media arguing is meaningless to me. I know most of them got a 3rd grade education because they'll tell you, oh, I dropped out of school. Like that's some dope stuff. Like that's some honorable to be telling kids. Oh yeah, you dropped out of school in the 3rd grade. Well, why I want to be around a whole bunch of people that dropped out in the 3rd grade on the same level of poverty and the women you dealing with on welfare and Section 8? That's low energy. And then I just gave y'all Daniel chapter 1, verse 8 and 11. People ain't eating right. I'm damn near 50 years old and I work out every single day. Ain't no discipline to these brothers. So when I talk to my people from the city of Flint, with all due respect, that's on my page right now, on my Facebook page, when I see y'all posting stuff, and a lot of y'all ain't here, because that's what y'all was saying to me when I was in Arizona, well, you ain't there in the city. Yeah, you there. Well, I'm hitting the city of Flint now. And I'm always here. Now what we gonna do? Because if ain't nobody putting no money behind that, we'll have no mission. If ain't nobody gonna donate something to a mission for we can bring our chair and our table to these round tables, and every time we show up, it's only gonna be me, it's nothing. I might as well stick to my agenda, get in my temple and school for my people. What people? The people that know my voice. And say, just because I'm from the city of Flint, that ain't my mission. Because I ain't no politician. I ain't no influencer. I ain't no activist. I told y'all, my brother was murdered in the city of Flint, Michigan. My baby brother, Akil Jelani Goodman Bey, was took out by a melanated brother. So when people tell me about stuff, I said, man, we don't love each other. How? Because people on social media know what I'm about and don't support. And then get on social media and talk about, well, they got these X amount of dollars to help somebody get somebody. I'd be like, man, ain't nobody finna do jack. That's just talk. And people posting this crap. I said, man, what you gonna do? How much money you gonna put up for a real movement? How much money you gonna put up? Because no money should be put up to that. The parents should tell. The people in the community should tell. Everybody that's on the phone should tell. That's how. That's how. But we a little bitty city of Flint. Everybody know each other. You either went to Northern, Northwestern, Central, Beecher, School of Choice, or you just was walking around somewhere. You either went to Longfellow, Whittier, McKinley. What else? What other schools were there in our neighborhood? Come on, we all know each other. In Cook, Civic Park. I went to Sobey before I came to the neighborhood. Sobey is the big the Boys and Girls Club on Averill. Come on, man. So I'm talking about Summerfield. So I'm talking about all these people from my age to the next generation to the kids. We all know each other. Right across the street from Ballinger, you got Muhammad Study Group, the Nation of Islam Muslims. Down the street, you got another church. At the corner, going up DuPont, you got a church on the corner of McKellar and whatever that street is. I ain't seen nobody. On Martin Luther King, you got the, Morris Science Temple of America, that been in there since we was a little kid. That's a historic building. I ain't seen that nan more. Because all these Moors can't get along. And then all the Moors in Detroit and Pontiac, they can't get along. That's why I be like, man, this is goofy. I don't care because you got no fares on. So what, you bought your fares off Amazon or George Lottery. So what, you made it. That don't mean nothing to me. Whoop-de-doo. 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 That's cap. Brothers don't love each other. So once again, I tell my people from my city, I ain't worried about what's going on in the rest of the world. If all my people care, all my empresses that got bad kids in the world, because some of y'all was kids is the problem. Some of y'all didn't let the dads be in the world because y'all was mad because the relationship didn't work. Some of us don't even raise our kids because we don't have time while we in the club doing all this. I know. I be seeing it. I be seeing how the houses look and how the yards look because I do property management and I have an own landscaping company. I be telling these women, the single mom, hey man, I'll do you a lawn for this. They don't care. And then you go by their house, it look like a trap spot, but they in the club dressed up in Louis. I be like, this is crazy. And then they have kids that go to school every day that sit in the house all day, play video games. I be like, this is a disconnect. Think about what I'm saying, empresses. Just think about what I'm saying for a minute. All my people from city of Flint, Michigan. Think about what I'm saying, especially if you're a woman. What are you supporting? I'm just tired. I'm fed up with everybody that's talking this. And everybody got an idea now for something. But nobody was mad when it happens all the time. Last year, a little girl got took out at the 810 event where everybody was together. Everybody act like they didn't know who it was. But a lot of these people, kids was down there 15, 16, 17, younger, in the middle of the summer with ski masks on, with poles. All these somebody kids. Our city ain't big enough. Ain't nobody telling. These kids don't have no money. They can't go hide. Where they hiding at? In the basement, in the attic? The mamas ain't telling. Our parents do everything we did. And this is what I'm saying. It's no connection. The police can't do it. The city council can't do it. The mayor can't do it. It's on our job. And if we leaders in the community, I'm calling for the leaders. I'm calling for the real GDs. The real what? OGs. Original geniuses. The growth and development. I'm calling on all the Moors from my city. We don't need nobody to come to our city and do nothing and go back home. This is what I tell people. That's great. We need everybody's support. But if you in the neighborhood, you need to model what we're doing in our community and do it in your community. And then we do something global, and this be the global blueprint, neighborhood for neighborhood. Because in every neighborhood, you got so-called Moors. Y'all on my page. I be seeing brothers on my page with feds as interpreters. Don't say nothing to me. Been following me for years. And then my homeboy said, oh, they stealing everything you be talking about, Sheik. They won't give homage and say they learning from you. They'll just sit on here like a bump on a log. And that's what I told everybody. I'm almost done with social media. Social media and me is getting ready to separate. Why? Because this means nothing. It haven't brought nothing. You know, brothers don't understand that we taxes them for the federal government. Most of the people I help don't look like me. And now I'm back in my city. I have real investors that be like, well, just give me a tax receipt sheet. What building you looking for? And this is nobody that, like, it's just sad, man. And that's all I say. Nobody's going to come in our neighborhood and help us. Nobody's going to come to the neighborhood and buy everything but these big companies. Nobody's going to come to our neighborhood and buy these churches and turn into temples and schools and safe houses but us. That's the blueprint. And we tax exempt for the federal government. And until we come together and follow someone that got a blueprint and stop acting like just because you nice and like you know it all, that's not it. Because when I say what are we teaching the kids don't have their own schooling. The kids don't have no curriculum. I have a curriculum for adults, for children. I have a curriculum for martial arts. I have a curriculum for gardening. And especially our kids that's going to college, I help kids graduate from college. I got a program that kids that want to be doctors and lawyers where they're going to learn that at a young age. I know how to get kids that want to be looking through the microscopes, that want to do lab work, to where I'm showing them how to look through genes and stuff through the microscope. I'm connecting them with other people that's doctors and things, and that's part of their community service. How? Because I know how to do this. It's very simple. This is part of these people community service when you organize. They love to do this. Why? Because I see it in Arizona. So I'm trying to bring something that works right back to my city of Flint. And have the 7th hour. And in the summer, we have our summer school. And then on through the week, we be open. And we have our mentorship, all our different programs running through our temple and school. And then we get grants when we operating big. But everybody should be donating. No matter how much or how little you can donate, everybody should be donating. Until then, this conversation that we're having is meaningless. Until then, it's going to always be someone that lose their life every year. Even though it's sad, my brother was murdered in 2006. We talk about 2026 now, almost 20 years later. It's the same thing happening. So it's been the same thing, people that's got older. Everybody be big mad for a minute, then everybody go back to their little place. Everybody go party and BS. We don't have nothing. We don't have nothing. Everybody be acting like they making so much money. We don't have nothing. We can buy something in one calendar year. Who? Us. We can be the change unit for everybody. We can be the change unit for all these Moors, all these religious people talking all this. People support what I'm doing. I give everybody a tax-exempt receipt. Everybody have to turn around in their chair and be like, how this man doing all this? How this man doing all this? And I told y'all that we are tax-exempt for the federal government. Religious, charitable, scientific, education-wise. I can give everybody a tax-exempt receipt. How little or how much you giving. And if you in a high tax bracket and you don't have no deductions, you giving your money to Uncle Sam willingly. Come on. I told y'all the blueprint is almost here. They were like, Sheik, like, all you asking for is $100 from 300 people. That's $360,000 in each year. In one year, I'm gonna take a nice chunk of that and go buy the building. No mortgage, no nothing, and go buy the land, cause the stuff will be sitting. And then where I'm gonna stay, my living quarters gonna be right next to the building. Sister Sarge, you on my Facebook page, go right up on DuPont right now. You might not be in the city of Flint. When you come back to the city of Flint, you ride up DuPont. Before you get to the corner of McClellan, you know what I'm talking about. You're gonna get to this big church that's been sitting there. Right behind it is Old King School. And then when you go down, then right next to the church that's been sitting there, you have a house. The house is the parsonage, which the pastor's supposed to stay in, or the minister, whatever you wanna call them. It's a peach house. And then at the corner, you got that big brick church. You know, everybody know I'm telling the truth. This stuff be pennies of the dollars. In one calendar year, we go make a deal. Oh, we bought this for $100 and some $1,000. Or we work a deal out. And the money keep coming in. That's pennies. When people understand and get more financial smart with their money, we can give more. And say, oh, well, we $1 million operation now. Now we own all this. Now we got our own charter school here. Now we teaching our own kids. Why? Because we have the people that's volunteering that's making it happen. Because all these variables happen, but we got to do certain things before we move. We got to be able to handle the tens, the hundreds, the thousands before we get to the millions. People got to be able to give me an opportunity. And this is with the money we giving Uncle Sam. And we can have our after-school activities, our spiritual house. We can have our summer school with the feeding program. We can have all this, y'all, with the money that we giving Uncle Sam. Who? Everybody in the community. And until we re-educate ourselves on this, we're going to be arguing over some religion. We're going to be still and our neighborhood going to get worse and worse and worse. And I'm talking about the city of Flint, Michigan. It's going to get worse because nobody cares. It's a disconnection from the kids. Don't you think if the kids seen me and all the rest of my brothers in the neighborhood with our turbans on, with our tunics, cotton or silk, and when we dress in our suits and our attire, you don't think that's going to be a powerful impact in the community? We ain't telling them to walk with their head down. We telling them to walk with some pride. We ain't telling them nothing bad. We telling them that they way better than what they think. We understand that. We understand the brotherhood. We understand why you think you want to be in a gang. We finna change that whole paradigm. We finna change that whole paradigm. We finna make a universal brotherhood. It's finna change. We ain't mad because you want to get money. It's okay, but it's other ways that we're gonna get this money. It's other ways that you're gonna be a smart, and it's other ways that you're gonna be a boss. I'm gonna show you this. And that's what this is about. It's a disconnection. We got to show the people that, yes, it is. The average people need to be supporting, getting a tax-exempt receipt so we can build in the community. So I can take time so I don't have to work these other stuff. And I can say, well, it's enough things going on. I can dedicate my time to our youth. Instead of our kids going to lockup, they can be let go to me on an OR bond. And I'm responsible for them for this time, changing their life. I'm responsible to make sure when I'm dropping them, making sure they ain't dropping no dirties. Why? Because I'm keeping you active. And I do zero tolerance. If you don't want to rock with me, you go to prison. And I know you don't want to go to prison. And I know you don't want to go to lockup. I know this for a fact, especially y'all kids that's skinny and mama's boys. I'm telling you, it's a whole different world. And at a certain age, you going to gladiator school, you going with the big boys. Especially if you take someone out. I'm telling you, you ain't going to no little Pasadena playhouse where you think you just being bad and this, and that, and the other. No, man. And this is what I'm trying to tell my brothers and sisters in our community. The only way we're going to make a difference, we got to be willing to trust something. We got to be willing to put at least a portion of our money behind a real movement. If we're not willing to do that, everybody might as well stop following me. If we're not willing to put no money behind them and say, this is our infrastructure, send your kid here for counseling, or send your kid here for after school activities, your parent if you want your kid to be involved with this and be a member of this, like our own YMCA or our own community center, the parent gonna have to be willing to donate some money each month and get a tax-exempt receipt, because you're giving it away. That's how you file exempt and give to your religious and charitable contribution of your choice. How? Because you donate it to your religious and charitable contribution of your choice. Are y'all listening to what I'm saying? That's the only way something gonna change. And once again, I love y'all. Thank y'all for listening to little old me. Everybody see my information, how to get with me. We have to stop acting like we don't know each other. We have to stop doing that. We have to see each other and be like, hi, and hit a person up instead of telling all these celebrities, happy birthday. Oh, it's Rick Ross' birthday. Happy birthday. Oh, it's such and such. Hi. Oh, such and such anniversary. Who cares? Who cares to go see Usher and Chris Brown on some skates for thousands of dollars, then jump on the social media and talk about, well, we don't have nothing. We know you just gave Chris Brown and Usher thousands to hear them sing something that you listen to on the radio. So all I'm saying is, y'all, I think we can do more, especially my people of the city of Flint. I think we need to change our perspective and stop talking about what somebody else is going to do. What are you going to do? And when the trumpet be blown, you can say you did something. You can say you did something. We got to stop posting what other people saying, because people just say stuff. What are you doing? If you from my city of Flint, what are you doing? Who are you supporting? People know me and just get on here and then talk about other people. What you supporting? How much money you putting behind a real movement? You see, until then, ain't nothing gonna happen, because don't nobody have no money behind nothing. And then when it's time to show up, no grown people show up. Watch, and I'm gonna show y'all Saturday, I'm gonna go live, I'm gonna show y'all how many adults from my neighborhood show up, because I know they don't care. I'm just trying to show people that I ain't trying to prove nobody wrong. I'm trying to prove everything that I know right. I'm from the city of Flint. I know our people don't participate in nothing. Why? Because you don't vote. That's how. I know when it's a certain people in the area, when they vote for city councilman, then they jump on social media and talk. I said, this is your ward. You ain't even vote, but you on social media running your mouth. So I know what the average NBC do in our community. Nothing. So I'm not trying to prove nobody wrong. This is what the kids told me. The kid was like, man, my mama be at the club every week. He'd be like, it'd be a different nigga over my house, and he's 16. I should say the name on here and make everybody feel this small. He was like, man, my mom be in the club every week. I'm like, well, I don't know your mom. When he said his mom name, I said, yep, your mom do be in the club every week. Yep, your mama do. He was like, so I raised myself. I said, where you got all the designer stuff on from, young man? My mama buy it. I say, do you go to school? She know I don't go to school. I'm like, huh? He got on Louis and all that. And I said, so how you buying this stuff? His mama, to keep him quiet. Because see, these mothers, they love their kids. They love their boys, but they raise their daughters. I see it. And then they afraid of these boys. A lot of these kids grow up and they have mental problems. What you mean, she? No disrespect. If you were a woman and when you was pregnant with that boy and you was smoking and drinking with that baby in your womb and timid and the man you was dealing with was knocking you upside your head, how you think that kid gonna come out? With all due respect. So now you got a whole bunch of kids that really, they pH balance messed up. So they jump right to the streets. They unapproachable. And when they get 20, 18, 19, what you gonna tell them? What you gonna tell an 18, 19-year-old that ain't never had no home training, that ain't never had a man tell them nothing, and they got a stick? And I ain't talking about no stick you pick up off the ground. I'm talking about a stick with a 100-round drum on that bad boy. You better watch what you saying to this boy. It's 100 degrees in the summer in Flint. He got on the mask and the hoodie. And ain't nobody calling the police. And a lot of these kids, they got their gun license. This is the irony in that. When you be like, wait a minute, I say a lot of these kids ain't been in trouble. A lot of these is babies. When they get a certain age, they can get their gun license. So a lot of these kids with mental problems, they got gun license. So a lot of these kids walking around with sticks, they registered. I'm telling you. I know what I'm talking about. And so until us parents get involved, I'm sorry, man. The police can't do it. The mayor can't do it. The city council can't do it because they got children too. Yes, they have a job, but the job is for the community to support everything. This is supposed to be a unification. So That's what, if y'all voted for these people to be in house, flexing your right as a citizen or whatever you want to call it, and you're not gonna be involved in the civic aspects in the community, what's the purpose? When you cry, oh, my baby ain't do nothing, you don't know that your baby is stealing cars and riding around with sticks and drinking lean and popping perks. Yes, he was a good kid. I know a lot of kids that started up good, but the hood took them under. Why? Because nobody didn't intervene. Nobody didn't intervene. So a good kid can get caught up with a so-called bad kid, because you don't know the difference no more in my city of Flint, because they all dress the same. Everybody be like, well, it's fashion. This is the excuse we make, parents. This is the fashion. But are you buying the kids the fashion? Because if I got a young man today, you're not wearing no all black hoodie and you're not wearing no jeans. You doing that. I'm involved. I'm your dad. It ain't happening. You ain't finna be a statistic. Nope. You a young noble. I ain't gonna force you to do nothing. But if I'm bringing you up, it ain't gonna be no force. It's part of your culture. Your sister gonna be a part of it. Your mama gonna be a part of it. Why? Because this is how I'm raising y'all up. You can have all the swag, you can do whatever, be whatever you want. But this aspect right here, we don't play that. We don't play that. We messed up. And a lot of these kids is messed up. Look at what we feeding these babies. I seen women that go to McDonald's every day and get their kids McDonald's, hamburgers, cheeseburgers, noodles, Pop-Tarts. I seen them feed these kids off the wall at a young age. So when they get a certain age, they so messed up. The mental aspect is so messed up because there's all these variables. It's no father figure. It's no education. It's the food we eating. It's no programs. It's no spiritual base. It's all those things. It's not just one thing. And that's what I'm telling people. This is a culture thing, and we have no culture. When a woman get a baby, instead of it take a village to raise the child, what you want to do? You want to get on welfare. You want to get on Section 8. That'd be the first thing these women want to get into. And then they have multiple babies. They say, you ain't learned from the first, and then you have 3, 4 babies. So now it's the government job to take care of all these welfare babies. Like, this is crazy. No one should be good. If you're having babies, the government should take care of nobody kids because you had kids. I don't believe that. What the government should do is say, if you want to go get an education and you want to go do this, we can help you live a better life and we can give you this when you're going to better yourself. But nobody should just get no welfare just because you go on welfare and ain't no contingency. I ain't giving you no I got 50 babies. I need welfare. No. What we going to offer you is to sew you up. Because ain't nothing changed. So we got a whole bunch of kids on welfare, a whole bunch of fatherless kids, and that the government supposed to take care of. You see the repeated psychosis in this? And people be mad at what I'm saying. I said, no, man. We cannot celebrate failure anymore. We cannot celebrate broken homes. We cannot celebrate when the women be like, well, I'm a single mother. You're not a single mother. And you're not, no, you're not. That ain't even real. Come on, y'all. And I'm just sharing my feelings with my people in the city of Flint. It's bigger than what we think. And it goes to the parents. We always talk about what the kids need this, but the parents don't know nothing. The parents, because this is somebody's kid that took this little girl out. This is somebody's kid. This is somebody's kid. This is somebody's nephew. This is somebody's boyfriend. This is somebody's niece or nephew, whatever you want to call it. Somebody know. And to sit up here in our city that's so small and people not upset because it ain't hit home. And that's what I see. And I see it. And as long as y'all got all these religious people in the city of Flint and the concerned pastors, man, nobody better not say nothing to me. I don't care about none of these religious people with all these secrets. Man, you can't say nothing to me. And most of the women in the city of Flint, they like the secrets. Why? Because y'all go to the churches. I can say way more, but I'm going to keep the peace because TikTok will probably ban me forever like they always do. I don't care about that. I ain't hold no more punches, man. I'm like, so what? People don't be upset until it hit home. They don't be upset till it hit home. The same way with these churches, the same way with my man, MARTIN church. Nobody was upset until the lady said, oh, you talking about me? I'm finna whistleblow and say all the crazy stuff happened in the church, but you've been knowing this for over 10 years. Man, go sit down. Do you see the psychosis in this? So the only reason why you getting on social media talking about the church and talking about the pastor is because your name came up. And you've been knowing all this for all these years. You've been knowing kids was, messed with by PDF. You've been knowing all this stuff was happening in the pastor's office with all the body fluids. You've been knowing the kids was found with on the buses. You've been knowing this. You know your daughter was messed with in the church in the bathroom, and you didn't believe her. Why? Because it wouldn't put out in the world. And the only reason why you upset is when it get put out in the world, and y'all people still go to this person's church. It's sad, and y'all know this person is in the Greek fraternity. Like this the irony, and y'all know that person got on TV with them fake tears. Y'all know it. And so I blame it on the women. And why? Because it's just like Chirac. The men only do what's allowed to. The women go in there and they talking about, ooh, the church, and you making your kids go to that crap. You making your kids go to that crap to some men that just jumping around in the pulpit. That's what we do. I said, we have to tell the truth. Ain't nobody doing this to us but us. It's a joke. Tell me I'm lying, any of my people of Flint. Tell me I'm lying, sis, and you know I'm telling the truth. Because I'd have saved it what somebody sent to me. That lady wasn't mad. Only reason why she got on social media and told everything is because her name came up, her daughter and her family came up. So she said, oh, since everybody know the secret, I'm going to tell it all now. Tell me I'm lying. And this in the church. I know people, daddies, with all due respect, I ain't got to say their name, that they were homosexual. I don't have nothing against a homosexual. Got them in my family. But what I don't like is the DL stuff. It'd be a joke, and it'd be a whole group of them. It'd be a joke. That's why I be saying. So I do blame a lot of the women. And I'm like, why? Why would you make your son deal with that? Why do women want to be best friends with someone like that, and they kids see their mother best friend is this type of man? Like, that's crazy. And you don't, and your whole mission ain't to give your kid no role model if you don't have an uncle or a big brother or someone in his life to step up. You too concerned about you that you don't seek nobody out for your son or your daughter to help you raise them up to be honorable. This is what I see. And that's why it's a disconnection. Why? Because nobody want to talk about the truth. Nobody want to talk about it's a lack of education. Even when I come to the schools, I did a lecture at Dora Ryder. Y'all know who volunteer at the school? No disrespect to no one. A whole bunch of big sisters. You know who was the damn security? I was going to drop a package off to my Aunt Kathy, at Dora Ryder. I'm knocking on the door, beating on the door. The big sister that's sitting there playing the game, looking at me like I'm crazy. I said, I almost cussed her out. You big there wobbling with no disrespect. I'm just saying the energy. So I know how you treating the kids. I go in there, it ain't no men in there. Everybody out of shape. Everybody out of shape, and that's what our kids get. Nothing. Our kids don't see no men in there. Our kids see a whole bunch of, no disrespect, soft women. And I'm not disrespecting the women. That's all that's in there because our women is soft. They made with snakes and snails and sugar and spice and everything nice. We made with snakes and snails and puppy dog tails. So what I'm saying is no image of no real men in there. The men I do see in there be all broken. And a lot of the other men I see in there, they be having too much, in them. No disrespect. Because there's been a disconnect. How? Because a man, let me show you, let me give you all an analogy why I had to move to Arizona. In my lower self, I got in trouble. I got a master's degree. I couldn't even be a teacher in the schools, and I'm one of the best ones. Why in Arizona, all I had to do is get a fingerprint ID to show that I didn't do this with kids or this, and that, and the other. I wasn't dishonorable to this, and I got a fingerprint clearance card to work with kids. I got a fingerprints clearance card. I be having to turn down work. And so a lot of the good people, just like my boy Julius, that's a Q, my homeboy in Pontiac, where I be going to a lot of the lockup meetings with, because he's a licensed counselor. He couldn't even become a teacher and all that in the city of Flint. And he a damn licensed counselor for the state of Michigan. And now we getting these grants for all this. I said, we're going to create our own, bro. Couldn't even be a teacher. But then when you go in these neighborhoods, you got all these pale people, no disrespect, and you got all these people that don't even care about the kids. And you go to these schools, it ain't no men. It ain't no men. It's a whole bunch of ladies. No disrespect. Even in the behavioral health field, it's ladies. Because don't no men working at, and the pay ain't really nothing. I'm telling you, so our kids is screwed. But I done came back to my city of Flint, and that's what I see, all women. And the women ain't smart enough to say, no, we need to be linking up with this brother. Let's see if there's some money in our budget to have this brother come and teach our kids who they are. teach our kids about macroeconomics, microeconomics, teach our kids about agriculture, teach our kids about real history. None of that. And it's money in the budget. It's money in the school budget. How I know? Because I do this at the colleges. That when I lecture, they have, the student union have funds. The schools have budgets. That's how they be having 7th hour. They be like, well, how you know all this? Dude, I done this in Arizona. When I had my temple in Arizona, I used to have kids come and do work study at my temple, and I was able to fill it out for them to fulfill their work study. And they'd come to my temple and they'd learn, they'd do their homework. I used to have a sensei come teach martial arts, or 2 of the girls that played basketball, I think it was Benedict, I forget the name of the college. I used to take them to the Y and work on their game, because the Y used to let me come and teach free basketball clinics. And then once I got hooked up to the Avondale Sports Complex, all I did was volunteer certain days to teach people skills and weightlifting and defense, and they let me use the whole facility. They saw me do a whole soccer camp out in Arizona, and I ain't even from Arizona. I had Gatorade, Adidas, Spalding, donate. I took hundreds of kids to the Phoenix Suns basketball games, get all that stuff donated to me. And people still don't see this. And that's why I said it's sad. We a small city of Flint, where I'm a homeboy, where I went to the same school as you. I graduated from Flint Northern. Y'all people on my Facebook page, y'all know me. Y'all know my mom and know my dad. Y'all know I'm real. It's people on my page that's been seeing me at the hospitals with my friends. It's people that see me in my essence. People know me. And that's why I say we'll sit back and just watch. And that's why I say, man, I love my people, but it's just a sad day. It really is. It's a sad day when we will just watch. And a prophet and angel supposed to come from your own people, last time I checked. A prophet and an angel supposed to come from your own brother and sister that y'all know, that y'all can touch and y'all can feel, and I'm right here. And I said, I'm only gonna be here for a season. And then just like that, I'm gone, and I'm going back to my area. And I'll probably be taking my parents with me, and I'll just be coming back to my location here sporadically. Why? Because I'm not gonna exhume myself. I'm not gonna waste all my energy. I'm just being honest. I'm not gonna exhume myself. I'm not gonna use my money. Every Saturday I'm at the library. Community meetings. Every Saturday I'm at the library. I stopped promoting it. I said, I'm not gonna waste my money in buying flyers and taking them to all these stores and nobody show up but professors and all of my alumni from Clear University, and it'd be packed. And they say, none of your friends come? And I said, no. And I'd be happy they be there. And they were like, well, why are you doing this? Why don't you just teach at this and that other? Why don't you just teach at our churches and our synagogues? And you always welcome. And we can put this in the budget. And I'd say, oh, so now, but this gonna shut me down. So then I can't do this. They like, no. I said, so I can't go live or nothing and share me teaching at y'all synagogue? They're like, oh, absolutely not. I said, well, I feel I got a little bit more, I think I got a little bit more energy to keep doing this until I make another decision. Because life is all about decisions. Remember that. And I'm not going to die poor and broke. I didn't go to academia. I didn't go learn all this stuff. I didn't become a historian, an author. I didn't create all these companies to beg my people to do something. I was just fortunate to be able to leave my city of Flint and go to a red state and be a God man in a whole nother area and actually do business with people that don't know me and be accepted in all houses. I thought I was going to be able to come back to my city of Flint and show my people that the science belong to us, that the Kemetic keys belong to us, that all religious science, that the 5-point star, the 6-point star, is all ours, and they connotate it to us and make us gangbangers. I thought I was going to resurrect us, but this is not popular to our people. You know, and so that's what I found out since I've been home in my city for this little bit of time. I have to be honest, and I'm gonna always be transparent. Every week, I drive to Howell, Michigan. Every week, I go to Clear University, my alumni, and I lecture in the business division. And every Sunday, I'm able to lecture. The stuff that I'll be talking about on Sunday and Sunday school with y'all, I lecture with a group full of Europeans. I walk out of there with a couple thousand from everyone. I come out with so many letters. Would you help my son? My son is he's going to Catholic school, or my son is going for religious studies, and could you be an ally, this and that and the other. The other man. And I'll be talking just like this. Especially when I'll be talking to my Jewish colleagues, when I deal with the Sepharats, or when I deal with people and I talk about the Talmud that they know, they say, how do you know all this? I said, because I study this. I have to know this. How am I going to help anybody or show anybody what it is if I not fully illuminated in a plethora of things. It's a certain language, it's a certain science, it's a certain craft that I was introduced to. And the only way you're gonna know this stuff is you have to be introduced or initiated to. I haven't took no oath, but am I initiated through wisdom? Yes. Just like academia, elementary, middle school, high school, just like basketball, JV, varsity, pros, just like martial arts, yellow belt, black belt, whatever, double gulp. Same thing. You see? And so when we take our power back, and this is what I'm telling us, we have to take our power back, and I'm right here. I'm right here with all my brothers. I couldn't have all these people follow me, and I can't never get donations. I can't never get people to donate like y'all donate to all these people that said they was going to do something, and everybody follow me. Do me the same way that y'all do the preacher. Do me the same way that y'all done the man that said he was going to open a school. Do me the same way with the dude that said he was going to do some McDonald farms. Do me the same way with the lady that say she going to do this. With the people that say, oh, send me this. I can help make this money. Do me the same way. Because I ain't promising you no riches. I'm saying I'm going to do exactly what I say I'm going to do. And I can give everybody a tax and receipt, and we can have something. So until then, we going to be complaining. There's going to be more babies losing their lives. There's going to be more people doing wrong. There's going to be more of our people that's graduating, taking oath, but not to tell the truth. There's going to be more former black preachers that's under the faith-based initiative, and they're going to teach you a whole bunch of lies, and everybody going to be on here, yep, that's the truth, that's the truth. But yeah, we need our own house so for the truth can be magnified. So then people can come say, hell, the truth is right here. This is where the truth is being taught. Yeah, we have the internet, but now we need our brick and mortar in our city of Flint, the blueprint. Because the Moorish Zion Temple of America is not it. No disrespect, not in my city. I don't care what nobody, when the prophet was alive, yes, but the Moorish Zion Temple of America, it ain't it. Because if it is, why I don't see the Moors nowhere? And in my city of Flint, the Moorish Zion Temple of America is closed. Point blank. And if you call the number right now, the number is disconnected. So the Moorish Zion Temple of America is not it. I'm sorry. Not today. The Moorish Science Temple of America is not it. You know what's it? The Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. And I don't give a damn how nobody feel about it. Because you can call the Moorish Science Temple of America right now, look it up in Flint, Michigan, and call it. I bet you the number disconnected. I bet you can come up here any day they're supposed to be having class. I bet you ain't nobody gonna be up there. I bet you they're gonna be running out there sideways with like they some Ninja Turtles. I bet you. So can't nobody tell me the Moorish Science Temple of America, it ain't it in my city of Flint. The churches, it ain't it in my city of Flint. The Muslim houses, Muhammad Study Group, it ain't it. Right now, because it's closed. And I'd be like, when do y'all be in there studying? The Muhammad Study Group right across the street from Ballinger Park. When do y'all be there? I don't see nobody outside. I don't see nobody in the streets. Only time I see people is when something happen. It's like it's a politician time, and then you gone. The Moorish Science Temple of America ain't it today. Why would I say that? Because if that's the case, everybody will model the temple. You got all these other groups, Moorish this, Moorish that. It ain't it. Are you teaching people? Are people being scholars? Is this the clock of destiny where it's pillars in the community? Nope. It's religious dogma. It's religious dogma. The Moorish Science Temple of America is not it in my city of Flint. What's it in my city of Flint? Right here, Sheikh Khari Goodman Bey and the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, and we tackles in for the federal government, and my people still ain't gonna help? So you're gonna give all your money to Uncle Sam, and then think you're getting a tax return, and then talk about, well, what? We don't have nothing. Y'all can help something. The same way a brother said he was gonna open a school. I ain't give that person no money, did you? Y'all know me, y'all follow me. It's 5,000 some people on my page right now. And the same people be on my page. And I said, I'm trying to build a temple. I'm trying to build a community center. I'm trying to build the library. I'm trying to build after school activities. I'm trying to build our spiritual house. I'm trying to build our regalia store, everything for us. Off what? Donations. And I can give everybody a tax and receipt. What's the purpose of everybody following me? I'm asking people because I'm not no influencer. I'm not no politician. I'm not no advocate. I'm a God man, and I deal with solutions. So if everybody know what I'm trying to do, why you still follow me every day, the same people? Ain't nobody supporting nothing once a month. And I said 300 people donating $100 a month. That's $360,000 in one calendar year. Y'all can watch me buy something. Everybody that's supporting, I'll be transparent. Like, okay, y'all, we down to 5 buildings. I'll go live, put my meta glasses on, show y'all what it look like, show you everything. I'll get a synopsis. I'll go down to the city hall and to the consumer power, say, well, what's the average? How much did it cost to keep this place heated in the winter and it's cool in the summer? They'll give me an estimate, and I'll say, this is the average bill is going to be for this time in the winter. This is what it's going to be in this summer to keep everything going on. Boom, 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 boom. That it ain't nothing else to talk about. And then people hold me transparent. If we say we want to own some houses and all these houses available in the city of Flint, and I know how to get them from back taxes and maybe donate it to us because we're a religious and charitable contribution, and we can have our religious community. You got to tell me what's the purpose for following me, especially my people. You got to tell me what's the purpose, because if a brother said he was going to open a school and it didn't happen, and it's been damn near 20 years ago, and y'all still follow this person or whatever, and I ain't saying nobody on here, the psychosis of that, because where the school? These people done raised millions. I ain't even raised none of that. These people raised millions. It been the dude that's supposed to be part of the Nation of Islam said they had 400 acres of some never farms. These people ain't never had no acres, because I know the European family that own the acres. These people went on YouTube, got some fake tool sheds off Amazon, a fake hard hat off Amazon, some big scissors, and faked all that. And hustled everybody. Okay, where the Never farms? And if it ain't no Never farms, then where the money? Where all the money that you raised? Do y'all see? So if it ain't no Never farms, so where all the money the people raised? That the people raised. And if you Nation of Islam and all these Nation of Islam, they got land and all this. Why they ain't do that with the Nation of Islam? Because it was a scam from jump. It was premeditated off top. These people didn't own no land. I'm telling you. That's why when real people do it, like my dad said, nobody support, because everybody follow the fugazi. And when the real be right here, we don't get the help. And I'm from your community. These people y'all never seen, these people you never went to school with, never touched, don't know. And people on here know me. People been following me for years. People know I'll take a flight to your home and talk to you one-on-one. Here it is, I have my European colleagues put 3,000, 4,000 together once a week when I come to Howell, Michigan, just for me to speak about religious context. Like that to me is crazy. And everybody give a donation. And they say, are you used to this with your people? If I was used to this with my people, I already have my building in my city. If I was used to this. I tell people I'm transparent. I don't have nothing to lie to nobody for. If I was used to people like them, when I go lecture and I get a couple of thousand, I already have my temple. Why? Because I use at least 90% of that for operation. Yes, a little small tittle got to go for my well-being, but the majority of that, I already have a building. I'll be at it right now. It'll be kids, they're learning stuff right now. So everybody know I don't have it like that. And I shouldn't have to use all my money to do it. Because I have a family. And people that I choose to do charity with. It's families that I choose to adopt and help them get their uniforms. And when the kids need things, I help them. That's what I choose to do in my community and other places. But once again, I'm talking about us, y'all, my people. What's the purpose of y'all following me just on here listening to me and I say, this is what we trying to do? Just like if I was running for a position, I got all these people in my city of Flint on my page each week. And then everybody on my page, Noble Bay, was like, yeah, we support you. They all at my campaign. And then all these people that say they support me, once you do the number, you be like, well, it's a shoe-in for Sheik to win. It's a shoe-in. And then when the vote come out, Sheik lose astronomically. You'll be like, how the hell Sheik lost? And then when you do the synopsis, all the people that's cheering for him that's supposed to vote, they ain't even vote. And they can. They ain't even vote. They ain't even putting them behind the campaign. It's like, you capped from the beginning. And then everybody be acting like, oh, well, we didn't know what happened. Yes, you did. I ran an audit. You full of it. You see what I'm saying, Brother Bay? And that's what I be saying about the people. We can. It's a reason why we don't do it. Tell me why we don't do it. Because if you don't trust me, why you here each week? To suck up what I'm saying and to use it for your own instead of giving credit where credit is due and seeing something happen and be a part of it? Because a lot of people don't have the skills and the assets. Y'all waiting for the other man to pay for this. The same way that they were going to finance Marcus Garvey. Y'all waiting for the other man to finance it, and then I'm not going to keep my doors open to y'all. I told you, everybody, I'm going to be transparent. If I got a brotherhood and none of my people in the city help, why do my doors have to be open to the common man, to people that ain't under my auspices? Why do I have to keep my say, well, my door's going to be open to help everybody if none of my people help and everybody from the neighborhood? And they say, well, Sheik, my son is this. So? Why should I care? But like, well, just take him downtown. Go take him and see that counselor that's going to put him on some Ritalin. I don't owe nobody nothing. Why? Because everybody pump faking. Just like everybody be talking about something. You ain't voting for nothing. You don't have no money behind nothing. So why should people be coming to me when I have something and nobody help? And I say, we can do this with the money we giving Uncle Sam. And so then when I have investors, because I'm going to be a non-for-profit organization, and I'm going to have certain investors invest, and all they want is a residual income maybe every quarter off their investment. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I wanted me to be for the people and by the people. But I see this is not popular to our people. And so I got to do what I got to do. And my doors won't be open to the public. It would be private. The people that I help would be private. Why? Because I'll be under a certain mandate. I'm going to always be transparent. And I'm going to be right in the neighborhood. And my doors will be only appointment only. It won't be you can walk in and you can help. And I say suggested donation. They say, well, you can go and do this. It's just a suggested donation. What? No matter if you give $10 or $10,000, she gonna let you participate in all the activities. That's how. I don't have to do that when I'm private, because I won't be federal mandated. Both levels. And this is what I'm telling my brothers and sisters. What make us think I don't win $1,000 in debt to be a professional in my field, to come back to my people and don't get none of my people's support? Tell me. But everybody go to church and give. And everybody talk about putting some money behind something. You got to tell me. And when this certain brother come to our city of Flint that say he gonna open a school, I see all you grown people going there like a dang old groupie. And I'm talking especially to my men. And y'all paying this man money and he leave laughing, licking his chops. What do these people do for our community? That's why I be laughing at our brothers. I say, man, what, you a groupie? You a groupie. Somebody explain to me, who gonna do something for our kids? Somebody explain to me. Why don't y'all want to support something so then the brothers that really the kids need to see, I can hire them. Then the men would get some pride about themselves. A lot of the men that might have made a mistake when they was young and they can't get proper employment to take care of themselves, and then certain women look at them in a certain way. No, because it ain't no brotherhood. Because we don't own nothing in our neighborhood. Ain't nobody putting nothing behind nothing. We don't have nothing. So when people go to church and do what? Go to church and do what? All these churches in the neighborhood, go to church and do what? I wait. I'm going to wait. What the church going to teach you? About finances, about economics. What the church going to teach you about agriculture? What the church going to teach you about your culture? About your fez, your turban? About nationality? About the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15, House Joint Resolution, the religious rights of the indigenous people? What is it going to teach you about being a complete fifth? And understanding that you was written in the European Mason President's Charter as 3/5 of a human being. You're not going to get that nowhere. What you will get in the city of Flint is religion. You get the Muslims arguing, you get the Christians arguing, you get the Hebrew Israelites that dressed up like whatever, you got the Egyptologists, you got all these people that act like they different in one little neighborhood. And it's no solidarity. Or then you got the Greek fraternities. And the Greek is a fraud. Steve Coakley told you this. I told y'all, my uncle was Michael Finney. I tell y'all, he passed. He was a boule. My uncle worked for the mayor, Snyder. That's why I tell y'all, if I'm gonna talk about my own and tell you the reason why I can talk like this. The reason why I can talk like I'm talking. Because I know for a fact that we have the power and we ain't doing nothing. And nobody can tell me no different, especially from my city of Flint, because it don't matter what nobody else is doing. I'm talking about us from my city of Flint, everybody that say, we're going to do this, the Morris Zion Temple ain't it, the church ain't it, and the Muslims' houses, it ain't it. Why? Because all these same people look alike. All these people, you take all their garment off, they all look alike. They all went to school together, and these people can't get along based off some man-made religion. That's sad. I'm talking about the uniting of Asia. So I'm willing to work with regular people. I ain't with all that propaganda, and I'm not Orthodox. So once again, my brothers and sisters, I'm in my city of Flint. What we gonna do? Who gonna teach our children? Me. I got the curriculum. Who gonna teach our babies, our middle schoolers, our high schoolers? Me. Who gonna teach them about their nationality and spirituality? Me. Who gonna create something for them so they can earn some money? Me. How are we gonna do that? With the money we giving Uncle Sam. How are we gonna get an infrastructure? We gonna buy one of these churches that's just sitting. We're going to buy one of them. How we going to buy one of them? Because I'm going to show y'all these are the 3 or the 5 churches that we're looking at. We're going to boil them down to which one's the best ones, and that's the one we're going to get. How and who going to pay for it? We are. And everybody going to get a taxes and receipt. It ain't going to hurt nobody's pockets. Nobody's life has to change. Nothing. You have to do nothing more. Because $100 a month is nothing to most of us on here. That's only $1,200 a year. That's nothing to nobody. That ain't even 10% of your income. And this is what I'm telling us. And why we don't feel like donating to something that's real. How else we going to have something? You going to beg Uncle Sam? We don't have to beg. We taxes them for the federal government. We got to use our money to buy something. And we under a different tax bracket. That's just it. And until we understand that, it ain't nothing for me to talk about. It ain't nothing else for me to talk about. We got to use our finances to build our own infrastructure, and we taxes them for the federal government, religious, charitable, scientific, educational-wise. That's how we buy a building in our city of Flint, one of these churches, and turn it into our temple and school. It's that simple, and nobody life change, because everybody get a taxes and receipt. See how simple that is? And everybody hold me accountable. Then you will see our computer lab. Then you see our real library. Then you'll see after school activities, infrastructure going on where we open 7 days a week. And until then, man, it ain't nothing to talk about. Because we are the people and we have the power. Until then, we a disservice to our youth. We a disservice to our youth. We a disservice to the laws that we say we understand. We a disservice to all our elders that under different circumstances, they came together and they formed things and they made things better for us today. We digressed. We have digressed. And you telling us today, when everybody say they free and everybody get on social media and act like how much money they working, and soon as it's time to put some money behind something, everybody act like they don't have no money. But you were just on social media bragging how much bread you make. You were just on social media showing everybody, well, I make this much money and this. Okay, well, what you doing with your money? I'll wait. That's why I be saying we got to be the difference, y'all. We have to be the difference. And right now, let's make a difference. Let's donate to something that's real. Everybody get a taxes and receipt. I'm right here. I can give everybody a taxes and receipt. Everybody know the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, we taxes them for the federal government. Religious, charitable, scientific, educational wise. Anybody donate monetary wise, I give you a taxes and receipt. And we get enough people donating like that, I say, well, Nobles, we got X amount of money that done came in this year. We're gonna buy this building. And it take this much money to keep the lights on, blah, blah, blah. This is gonna be allocated to this. And now it's time to work on infrastructure and bringing people in. Once we get operating on our level, then we can start applying for grants, things that we don't have to pay back on Michigan Grant Watch and at the Mott Foundation and at other community organizations that donate these funds to these organizations, and it go right back each year because brothers and sisters not set up in the right way on paper to take advantage of these things. And then nobody know about this stuff because they not there at the meetings. I know about this stuff. How do I know about Michigan Grant Watch and the churches don't know? All these grants in the city of Flint on Michigan Grant Watch and the Mott Foundation, all these other places that donate to religious organizations to do community work with the youth, to partner up with drug and crime and gangs and do all this. These preachers scared. Hell, when I was in the city of Flint, I was the only minister going to the Thumb Correctional Facility. Ask anybody that know me that was locked up at the Thumb Correctional Facility. I was the only brother in the ministry that was going to the Thumb Correctional Facility. No preacher in the city wanted to go. How I know? Because the chaplain, back then it was Chaplain Hart. See, a lot of stuff I can say, but I'll be trying to hold people punches because they'll be like, man, the city of Flint, whack. Yep. Because a lot of these people get this money and they become gatekeepers because they be suckers, with all due respect. But when I was going through the Thumb Correctional Facility, the brother name was Chaplain Hart. And he got this program in the city of Flint called Involved Dads. He reached out to me because no preacher would come. I'm coming to the Thumb Correctional Facility, ministering to all people. Then when these people get their own programs, they don't reach back. Once they get these $1 million grants and all this, they hire the other man, or people that have no education, or you feel, well, they beneath me, so they no influence. See, I know the game. And then it becomes a joke because a lot of men don't have powerful men right next to them. They want to be the only one. But see, I'm like the Messiah. I want to be around all powerful men. That's why I don't deal with all men. That's why I got my own muftis. That's why everybody don't get a charter and ID from us. Why? Because if I don't trust you, I ain't dealing with you. Y'all understand what I'm saying? This is why I feel how I feel when I teach how I teach. I said, dude, it's too many of us in the city and we ain't doing nothing. I'm right here. The Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, we can have our own infrastructure in 1 calendar year. In 1 calendar year. And we can do something righteous. I promise y'all. And everybody get a tax-exempt receipt and nobody life change. Now tell me why we not doing it. Now tell me why ain't nobody donating $5,000 to this, or your tax return to this, or posting, or oh, I know somebody that got $5,000 to turn. Ain't nobody got no $5,000 to do poo diddly. Ain't nobody do that. Nobody should be putting no money up. The parents should be turning them in. Don't nobody have to give them no money to turn nobody in. It's to be wasting no money on no stuff like that. Our money should be built for infrastructure, not trying to pay nobody to tell. That's some sucker stuff. We don't pay nobody to tell. We turn our people in because we are community engagement. Our funds supposed to be built for use for infrastructure, to donate to something that's real, for we can deal with prevention, and we can deal with the ones that we can get. The ones that we can't get, that's a wrap. We got to save what we can save. Now. I'm telling y'all, we got to save what we can save now, and the rest that don't want to be saved, it ain't nothing we can do with them. We're going to have to push them out. And then it's like training an old dog. Some old dogs you can't train, but the ones that want to be trained, we welcome you all. But the ones that don't want to be trained, you got to go. These is facts. So it's no other way, my people of the city of Flint right now. This is it. Let's make the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. Let us buy one of these buildings and let me show you what I do for all my people in the city of Flint. Donate to my organization. Let me see people donate millions of dollars to the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, and I give everybody a tax-exempt receipt. See what I do. I guarantee you I do everything I say. See what I do. Give me a chance, because I already done it. I know how to teach our people. I know how to bring after-school activity. I know how to bring programs. I know how to have people be involved and donate what they time. That's professionals. And write up as in-kind service. How? Because this is how it's infrastructure. Think about what I'm saying, my brothers and sisters. This ain't hard. We're supposed to have our own greenhouses in our neighborhood with our own community garden. All these houses that's tore down, we should own plethora lots with our greenhouses and showing the kids how to be doing agriculture, where we growing all our fruits and vegetables and etc. right in our community. How? With the money that we giving Uncle Sam, and everybody get a tax-exempt receipt. Put it on me. Put it on me. Help me get $1 million, and everybody get a tax-exempt receipt. If I had 300 people giving $100 a month at the end of the year, that's 360 grand. See what I do. I bet you y'all be like, damn, this man done done that. Yep, this man done done that. Yeah, because I know how much things cost in our city. I'm going to be showing people up. What we doing is taking care of people's houses. All these people doing is padding their money up, so when they done, they building their houses away. They taxes them for the federal government, so everything about their life is free. I'm telling you. And they don't want to give that up. That's why a lot of these people become preachers. Y'all don't know. I know. They don't really like you. Come on, y'all. I'm casting my net out as I leave. I've been out here for a minute. I need my people of the city of Flint. I need y'all. I'm anointed. I'm consecrated. I'm educated. I'm trustworthy. I've been on the battlefield for a long time. Y'all know I'm a divine minister. Y'all know I'm an educator. Y'all know I have a plethora of books. I have a full library. I can change the whole dynamics of our spiritual base, of our education base, of our brotherhood base, of what we eat and what we drink in our community. I can change it. And it can make a difference. How? Because we can have our private temple and school. We don't have to be letting anybody in. We don't have to just let nobody come in and regulate us. No, because ain't nobody giving us no money. And the federal government ain't gave me no money. I turned it down. I don't have no faith-based initiative. I'm saying the people, y'all, the money that we giving Uncle Sam willingly, we can convert that to the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, and I can give you a tax-exempt receipt. All the way you to donate is on my social media handle. And people can ask me questions. Every time you donate, I can give you something. I'll give you books. If you in the community, I'll give you fezzes, I'll give you turbans, I'll give you tunics. It's so much that I can do. Then I have people working with me. Then you will see people starting to fly to the city of Flint, say, I'm taking a vacation where? To the temple. I'm going to the city of Flint, I'm kicking with Sheik, and then you would probably stay in a hotel. But then, as we build it, you'll be like, well, I don't got to stay in no hotel. Why? Because Sheik owned 10 houses. Our temple and school owned 10 houses. I'm staying at one of our houses that we bought. In our community, that's how. And everybody going to watch. My nieces, my nephews, my friends, y'all going to watch. I promise you, and I'm not trying to prove nobody wrong. I'm proving everybody right, because I knew this was going to happen when I come back to my city of Flint with my alumni. They like, well, just give us a tax exempt receipt, and why don't you let us finance you? I don't want nobody to finance me. And then that means I have stakeholders. That means every quarter I have to kick them something. But with us, I give my people a tax exempt receipt. They want to be in on the business because they know it's prosperous. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling you. I came home to help my mom, but I need to build my temple and our school and our after school activities in my city of Flint before I be took back to Arizona, and I do it for the people in Arizona. And I'ma still do it, but it'll hurt my heart that I have to do it. And right now in my city of Flint, I'm needed. How I know that? Because the people be telling me, the politicians be telling me, people that city councilmen, and they be like, well, you can, I say, I'm not a politician. No, I'm for the people. I know the power that we have. And we control all the rest. We put the right people in position. We do this. We understand law and policy. We understand these things. And until we have these conversations in-house, everything is going to be who you like. And y'all going to see what's happening in the city of Flint? Nothing. Because we don't support our own that we know. We don't. I love y'all, man. And I'm out. Peace.